Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sports live watch along of the Milan Derby this afternoon. It's AC Milan versus Inter Milan. You're probably thinking it's like back in the 2000s or the 90s where just somehow it's for free. No, we're not showing you the game for free, sadly. We're going to do a watch along for it though, where you could watch it on Channel 5 on a Sunday afternoon. Those were the days on UK
Oh,
television.
Channel 4.
Channel 4 was so
Let's
good.
go further back. Yeah.
I mean, nothing beats that show. Like, what? They don't do TV like that anymore, do they?
No. It was the Saturday mornings. You get it at kind of 10:30, where it'd be like the kind of the news program where the wrap up with James Richardson having some sort of kind of cake or croissant or some sort of pastry with
continental
a coffee.
confections. Yes,
exactly, and a load of newspapers, because that's another sport and all the rest of it. Just going through all the papers, getting us all up to speed, and then on the Sunday you get the big game, whichever it would be, and it was just what a time to be alive. And it was at that point where obviously the ruling was still, going back to the 90s, was the ruling where Serie A Italian clubs could only have 3 foreign players. So it was like every team had a star or a star or two. And it was just, it was like just a moment of discovery, I guess, for someone as old as me at that point in time, discovering all these random players.
they still have those sorts of rules. You know, you said they only allowed 3 foreign players. They don't have those exact ones, but they can only sign 3 players a year or something outside of the European Union.
Yeah.
So this is the whole problem with the Suarez one. But yeah, I mean, I've only recently got into Serie A, so I'm not as fond of it as you are. Or in those days, I'm still quite new to it in the past 3 years, but I absolutely love it. It's brilliant. I'm just a big fan. Big fan.
So, of course, welcome to Andrew Pollard. It's his first watch along with us on Let's Talk Sport. Andy used to help out with us at Callan FM when, sadly, the station's not around at the moment, but hopefully it will be in the future. But, of course...
We killed it. We killed it.
We killed it. We ruined it. We ruined its legacy. Oh, well. And Seb, of course, joining us as always. And as I always say, Seb is like a boomerang. You throw it and then it comes right back. Anyway...
It's nice to know my contribution is of worth.
Well, it's that or the cat, and I don't think the cat can speak.
The cat probably is on the channel more often than me.
Yeah, something. I think we need to get a Instagram page for her, the Let's Talk Sport cat or something like that.
It'll
maybe
just be on the bed all the time.
It'd just be on the bed all. Day 35, sleeping. Anyway, the game is about to begin. If you're wondering what the starting lineups are, it's in the below text, in the scroll text. That's the starting lineup for AC Milan and Inter Milan, and the substitutes are available in the description of the video. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Andy, we had a great Coppa Italia game a few weeks ago between these two sides, including the fight. Well, I say fight, it wasn't a fight, but there was a big moment between Ibrahimovic and Lukaku, which there's been this debate of who would have won, because Ibrahimovic is good at karate, apparently.
Oh yeah. Ibra knows martial arts. It's like one of these random things. It's like almost like, I don't know, Zlatan Ibrahimovic just kind of footballs. Let me just turn this volume down because I feel like I'm drowning things out there. I feel like with Ibrahimovic, he'd make for a movie of his life, or it'd be one of those where you could do like a fictionalized version of Zlatan's life, but you wouldn't really know what bits were fiction or not, because there's just so many random kind of strings to the fella's bow. And yeah, karate is one of them. Martial arts is one of them. And I'd always pick Zlatan in any fight, but I wouldn't want to fight Romelu Lukaku. The dude is just an absolute monster.
He really is. He is. He's a beast. He's absolutely massive. And of course, he's been scoring goals for fun, Seb, for Inter Milan, and he's been linked to coming back to the Premier League this summer to Man City. There's been rumours. Could you see that happening?
No. I'm just going to say no, quite simply no. I don't think Pep would want Lukaku. It'd be some drastic change going from Conte to Guardiola, wouldn't it?
It certainly would. I mean, of course, some United fans would hate to see it happen because it's him going to City after playing for United a few years ago. But I guess it's not the same as the Tevez one when it was straight to City from Man United. But anyway, we won't talk about that. Tevez is no longer a thing. Anyway,
he's still only 27, Lukaku.
I thought you were going to say Tevez then.
He's been around for about 10 years in the top flights, and he's only 27. It's crazy. And he's now getting into the form of his life. Last season, I mean, some could argue was probably better, but he's the leader of this Inter Milan team. He is the key component. Even if he's not playing well, he is a big leader in that team.
Absolutely.
So any club would want him. realistically.
Well, we're just the players are out on the pitch and they're just having a minute of silence. I'm not actually sure what for. Maybe something to do with COVID or something to do with an ex-player that's passed away.
Yeah, it's an Inter player. I'm trying to think of the name at evades me at the moment. But yeah, an Inter player that passed away. There we are on the screen, which is very tiny.
Oh, but it zoomed in and it disappeared, so I missed the name. I love Inter's kit though. I don't know about you, Andy.
I was just about to throw that out there to see what the consensus is on it. When I first saw it,
Belugi apparently the one they're paying on it too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when I first saw the kit in pre-season, and it was just like this is their kit. I didn't like it at all, but it's grown on me. It looks good, and it looks even better when you're winning games, and that's what Inter Milan have been doing a lot lately.
I'd love to see both because it's got this zigzag stripe thing now. I'd like to see both Milan clubs adopt that just for one season. That'd be pure anarchy on the stylistic way, but
yeah, they have some sort of
think
agreement.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
I think it's a beautiful kit.
Well, we're just about to kick off. I love how they're doing this graphics thing of pretending that there's just banners and all that all over the stadium.
Oh, they've done that for a long time in Serie A. It looks terrible. It
does look terrible.
Have you not thought of renewing the person who does that?
It's like the green screen you see in my room when I normally put it up, but luckily.
So this isn't green screen right now. I thought this was a fake background of a cat and a printer.
I'm afraid this is my actual background. So we've just kicked off then. So Inter attacking from left to right and AC the other way round. And I was going to say, Andy, we've had some great Milan derbies over the years. And I just think, this is one where finally we've got that rivalry back. The top two being AC Milan and Inter Milan. And actually, I think this is the first time they've had this kind of fixture since 2011. So it's a long time coming.
Yeah. It's a weird thing. I suppose it's the same with any when you look at any league, but it feels particularly so with Serie A, where it's very much cyclical, where you'll have one team dominate for so long. And I mean, the early 90s, that was AC Milan, and then Juventus took hold, then Inter Milan took hold, and then obviously Juventus after Calciopoli, that's Juventus have kind of come back from that and just 9 on a bounce, I think it is now, something ridiculous like that. So yeah, so it's refreshing to see Juventus not dominating, and it's even more refreshing to see AC Milan and Inter Milan in a genuine title race, which the momentum in the last few weeks has swung in Inter Milan's favour, you'd say, because they had that poor start, but they've turned it around, and Milan have had a few wobbles with the Spezia game and getting turned over by Atalanta 3-0. So it's everything's to play for. It's really cool to see these two giants, especially I think in the case of AC Milan, because Inter Milan have at least been thereabouts in the last couple of seasons. Them and Napoli and Atalanta even actually. But with Milan, they dropped so low, and so to see them back up there is that's particularly refreshing and nice.
They've fallen off a cliff recently, but then they are the last ones to win Serie A that isn't Juventus.
Yeah,
2011, which is and it was between these two teams that they were fighting out to the end. And it's all as you mentioned, great to see two giants back on top and competing for first place.
Absolutely, and Inter having the first attack of the game, and it's just gone behind for a goal kick. Perisic getting involved in the header. Perisic, who missed out on a Club World Cup medal. Seb, I bet he'll be gutted.
I think he's just gutted that he has to stay in Milan because he stay there. No, it's been 2 years since he wanted the Arsenal move that he's not wanted to be in Milan, so he's just trying to get anywhere, which I find surprising that he thought, okay, I'll go to London, or I go to Munich because Milan really isn't the place for me. I don't know. I just think people prefer the sun of Italy than the rain of England or Germany.
Again, Perisic seems to be one of those players, just with you, Jamie, where it just seems forever always linked with Manchester United.
I know.
It's Wesley Sneijder all over again. It's every transfer window. Oh, that's it. Perisic going to United, especially when Jose was there.
Inter do this to us all the time. They just love to have a player that's linked to us for ages, and yes, we probably are after him. But no, Sneijder was so good. That was the one. Apparently, even Nike got involved, and they said it was a proper, it looked like it should happen, but it just didn't happen. 2011 summer, literally, I was at school, so I remember when I had the long summer.
Christ, that makes me feel old. I was 2010. I was in the pub watching the World Cup, and here's you. 2011, I was in school. Right? Okay. Cheers, mate.
I remember in 2011, I just woke up each day checking the transfer gossip on my phone or on the computer. That was my first thing every day. It's like, no Snyder latest, no Snyder latest. And then my brother would send me a text now and again. He said, "Oh, Nike getting involved." I'm like, "Oh, Chris, for God's sake, tell me if it's happening." I don't want to know.
I've got like a total, again, show my age, a precursor to that, because while I am a Wrexham fan, as a kid I used to have a bit of a soft spot for Man United. And when the internet was like first the thing, and you could only get on a handful of websites, and it was really slow, and not everybody had the internet. I didn't, but a friend of mine did. And most days I'd be there, and I'd be checking about Marcelo Salas going to Man United from, I guess it would have been River Plate at the time. And
River Plate,
yeah, that'd be like what, 1995, I think. And that was my version of that. Like every day is like, Salas going to Man United. This player that I'd never actually seen at that point in time, because obviously things weren't as widely available back then in the dark ages of the 90s, well, in the mid 90s. But it was just, you'd read all the stories and all the hype. It's like, this guy sounds amazing. This guy sounds amazing. Then you finally do see him when he's at Juventus and Lazio, and yeah, the guy was amazing. But he didn't go to Man United.
And
like Wesley Sneijder.
And then instead, it's Johan Cruyff's son that joins. Instead, hang on, here's Lukaku. I thought he was going to go alone there, Seb. Oh, hang on, it's in anyway. Oh, it's in.
Goal.
1-0. And
Lazzaro.
There we go. Inter Milan take the lead, and Lukaku gets the assist. You can see the energy in him.
Rom is.
He's so happy.
I must be well behind.
Oh,
I will catch up. I will catch up. I'll find a way.
Seb is our Chris Kamara today. Seb, there's been a goal.
Oh, Lukaku's in on goal. I'm surprised he didn't take the shot.
So Anthony Van der Bar has been sent off. No.
I thought he was just getting. Oh, it's a good header. Oh, that's a good
It's a
header.
great goal. It had to be.
Really good ball.
It had to be Lukaku and Martinez, right?
Martinez
That
and
partnership,
Lukaku
right?
together is great. It's been awesome this season.
It's been awesome just since it
Just
started.
I really like the touch there from Lukaku, just to get it out of his feet. That first touch when it comes back to him, to open up that space away from the defender, just to put the ball in. That's a really good ball. That's really good header, but on a plate. But still, there's a lot to do there for him.
So, Ibrahimovic, one of the things he said in that reverse match was, "I'll pay you £10 for every good touch you have," and well, that was not bad at all there. So I think Ibra owes him something.
What is in ahead of this
he
game?
Just
Was it?
Kessie out. He said that in the other derby. He said
when it all kicked off. That was part of it. Basically, Zlatan was just mocking. Because at first, it kind of the first story, the big story was that it was Zlatan had said something racist. But as the details came out, it turns out he just basically been mocking Lukaku for having an awful touch, but mocking him hard. And yeah, like Seb said, was offering him money for any good touch that he had. But yeah, great. I really like that touch. Just when it comes back to him off the first cross, just that initial touch to get it out of his feet, to open up the space to put the ball in.
He takes Kessie out there easily, and
played.
I mean, what result it could be for Inter if they win this? They would, of course. How many points are they behind at the moment?
No, Inter are top.
Inter are top. Sorry,
they're top by 1 point.
I keep thinking AC is still top because they've been top for a while, haven't they? But
well, they lost to Spezia, and that really hindered the lot. It was a pretty bad week for AC Milan, that one.
It's all about.
But Spezia aren't bad actually.
It's all about Lazio. It's all about Lazio with Immobile up front. Love that guy.
On form right now.
Love that guy. Or Nedved if he was still there, you know.
Nedved. Don't even. I won't be able to stand up for a week if you mention him.
I can't stand just seeing a picture of Nedved, so I can't imagine what would happen if he was still around.
Jesus, man, what a footballer! What a footballer! But again, that was one of those where there's a beauty to Serie A, to Italian football, and also there's a part of me that doesn't quite like it when I first realised about it. The loyalty isn't there that you get in certain other leagues, and the case in point there with Nedved is that did so well at Lazio, and then it's like, well, Juventus want me, okay, I'll just go there. Whereas I don't know if you necessarily get that from the first one, and it broke my heart because I used to love Juve as a kid. Was when Roberto Baggio left Juventus to go to AC Milan, and it's just like. That it was such a foreign concept in 1994, I think that would be, as somebody that had grown up at that point in time watching English football. Yeah. It's like you never would see somebody go from Man United to Liverpool or from Arsenal to Man United really at that point in time. So to have someone like Baggio, who was basically the best footballer on the planet, leave Juventus for their heated, feared rivals, it was just nuts. But that's Italian football.
They move about often, and there's not as much bad blood as you would have in England.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, when you got Inter Milan, was it De Vrij or Skriniar? I always get them confused. Who moved from Lazio? That was De Vrij. And on his last game for Lazio, it was against Inter Milan. And they were fighting for fourth spot, Lazio and Inter. And De Vrij who had already agreed the transfer to Inter Milan in the summer, gives away the penalty that gets Milan the win that they needed to finish fourth, and
Yeah.
Lazio finished fifth. And every time he goes back to Lazio now, you can hear the stadium. You hear it full on. It's quite hilarious. And also the fact that the Vri, I don't think he's had a good game against Lazio since he's gone to Inter Milan, is also quite ironic.
I think that's the only kind of sides where it seems to be big with the loyalty and the hatred if you leave does tend to be the Roma Lazio connection there. That's the big.
That's the big one, yeah. That's the one that's unacceptable.
But like with Baggio went from Juventus to AC Milan, then they ended up going to Inter Milan. It's like that'd be like somebody going from Liverpool to Man United, then to Man City. It's like it seems completely unfathomable that could ever happen. I'd put a bet on it that never has happened.
Had to be punched away. And AC Milan on the back foot, aren't they, in this game?
Yeah. They're not. I said to you, Jamie, in our prediction that I think AC Milan will take the lead and Inter will win in the second half. It's looking like a complete opposite now, which probably says a lot about what I know.
Oh God, the advertising boards when they've got 3 of them on the side. Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
They've done that, haven't they? In most stadiums. It's so big.
Well, Wrexham, we're getting in the National League. One of our priorities that we're getting is as an electronic advertising hoarding, which just seems absolutely nuts for.
That's crazy for National League. That is. You'd think it was an FA Cup game.
It is. We've got so many other things that probably should be prioritised, but that's one of the first things that's come out. It's like, we're getting an electronic advertising board. Okay. But whatever. Bring in the money. Yeah, just it's my token. Throw in Roberto Baggio. Throw in Wrexham. They're up my way on my tick list of cliches that I have to get out there.
I mean, I can't. I mean, the video I watched the other day, which is the first time I've ever seen it, and it was done a few years ago ahead of Deadpool 2, was Deadpool being at Beckham's house. And I'm like, have I not seen this? This is amazing.
Yeah.
I can't.
David Beckham.
David Beckham, what a guy.
Former AC Milan player.
Yes. Yes. That's how it's made this whole thing a topic. You know.
Are you saying that Beckham put Milan on the map?
Yeah, absolutely. He put every team on the map, even PSG. No, I'm joking. But actually, Connor Porter and Joe Stanley have got in touch, and Joe Stanley says that it'll be 2-1 to Inter today. Well, you're halfway there, mate. Connor's also said Donnarumma.
3 divided by 2 is equal to 1.
Yeah, I know my maths. I was set 6 in maths, which is the lowest group in maths. Anyway, Connor says Donnarumma a target for any teams in the summer? ? What do you think of that, Seb?
Yes, and it depends if he renews his contract or not. His agent, Mino has actually said that he wants a 35 million euro release clause if Donnarumma is to extend his contract.
Wow. Which
seems little. The guy's still only 21, and he's had about 5 seasons at the top flight of AC Milan, if not more.
Yeah.
Crazy, and anyone would be stupid to not try and get him. But in all fairness, who needs the top goalkeeper in Europe right now? Who would want to pay his excessively high wages? I don't know. At the moment, I don't think it's very feasible. I see him extending it into AC Milan, and maybe a clause, but not as low as 35 million.
I was going to say the next thing Connor's brought up is that did Man United make a mistake by selling Lukaku? I'll answer this. I'm going to say no. The main reason, I mean, don't get me wrong, wherever Lukaku goes, he always scores. And my brother reminded me of that, and I'm just thinking, yeah, fair enough, he has, despite this whole thing he had against the big 6, he couldn't score, and I'm thinking, yeah, it's a bit of a voodoo doll for him, but the reason why I was happy for him to go was because when Mourinho was manager, before he got the sack, Lukaku had told him that he wanted to leave. And it was the same under Solskjaer, and Solskjaer said in the press conference, I'm not going to keep a player that wants to go. So you could say it's a mistake, but I just think if the guy's not happy, you've got to let him go. And I think they made the right move. I'm gutted because I'd have liked to have seen Lukaku in this squad we've got right now. I think there would have been no doubt he would have got a few goals for United this season and last season, just like he always does. But that's just the way it is. Players like to move on, and he's doing great at Inter Milan, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it was one of those where United kind of had their hands forced on it. And I think he's if you look at now for the system that Solskjaer started to implement over these last 18 months, 2 years, where he's got to now, it's so reliant on that central striker who at the moment is Edison Cavani when fit or when available or whatever. And it's like you think that if Lukaku hadn't been at Man United and this was a case of right, we're looking for somebody to come in as the long-term replacement for Lukaku for Cavani, it's like Lukaku's on that list straight away. He'd be perfect in this system, but wasn't to be. And and I think he's become a better footballer in Italy. His link-up play with Lautaro, it's really cool to see a partnership, and they both play as a central striker, but they both know when to drop off and go out wide, and it's just they have a really good connection together.
I love that kind of football as well. You know, you've got that backup if you can't be there at the right time. I love it. That's the football I always enjoy watching. Actually, Inter have a corner. What to be dealt with on the on the far post by the goalkeeper, and it's gone back to the halfway line. So Inter Milan, it really is all Inter in this first quarter of an hour or so in this game. So AC Milan could do with picking themselves up.
To come back to Lukaku, I think United made the right decision to sell him. They sold him for what, £75 million?
Yeah, we actually didn't lose any money.
And he's not gonna. Inter aren't gonna sell that much if he does ever go. I think it was good for United, and I don't ever see Lukaku as a main focal point as a striker. He's better in this two-man system up front, as you mentioned with Martinez. So I don't know how that fits in the Premier League if you put two up front. I mean, unless he goes to Burnley.
I was just about to throw that in. Yeah,
him and Ashley Barnes playing up front together is the dream, isn't it?
To go back to Donnarumma.
Back heel, I love it. Nice. There's no power, there's no pace or power really, but if that had gone in, Andy, that would have been a typical Zlatan goal.
Oh, the dude just scores ridiculous goals. That's a proper slice. I'm just watching the replay.
And it's Skriniar just kind of scrapping it away as usual, not really sure how to clear a ball.
Conte just looks like he always wants to have a ruck with somebody. He's just always ready to have a fight. With Donnarumma, I think it's nuts to think that this is a dude that came into the team at 16, started playing first team football, and then earned his spot as the first team goalkeeper. It's a little bit like Kessie did at Real Madrid all those years ago. Yeah, I think Kessie was only 17. Well, say only 17. So Donnarumma's got one up on him on that. And you're thinking maybe. He's got such a strange relationship, Donnarumma, with the AC Milan fans, where it's like he's wanted to leave before because the fans have given him so much abuse at times, and then he's been talked around and he stayed, and that's happened 2 or 3 times now. And you're thinking, right now, this Milan side that are second in the league in a title hunt, and you're thinking, well, you could stay now, you could become this legend at this club, you could be captain for the next decade of what could be a really, really fruitful 10 years or so for Milan. Of course, it could just be a one-season wonder for Milan and they could drop back down next season, especially if someone like Donnarumma leaves on a free transfer. But, I mean, if I'm Spurs, that's someone I'm going for hard on a free transfer. I don't care about the wages. You're thinking, Hugo Lloris, he's always had a mistake in him, but it's getting to the point now where the mistakes are more than they were in previous seasons.
I think what's more frustrating for Tottenham is you think, He's gone quite a while without a mistake. He must have got this out of his game. And he'll just do two or three mistakes.
Saving them up for one game. Just dropping like 3 of them.
You see, Lloris is someone who comes with credit of mistakes, and he's got to use it every season.
Yeah. Going to use that before the end of the year, like annual leave. Like, right. Got 3 more mistakes. I've only got 2 games to use them.
Season, I've got 3 to do.
Yeah, I think Donnarumma would be a really good fit for Spurs. I'm thinking of like the so-called top clubs or anybody that would be a realistic target where he would fit in right now. I'd argue if I was Real Madrid, to be fair, I'd be going for him because I'm not the biggest fan of Thibaut Courtois. But like Barca don't need a keeper right now with Ter Stegen. You look at Man United; they've got 2 good goalkeepers there. Arsenal, I mean, would Donnarumma be an upgrade on Bernd Leno? I don't know. I think Arsenal have got bigger problems to address than a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And then the whole debate then is, do Arsenal class as that big club right now? That's another debate. But you look at the other big teams across Europe, maybe Paris Saint-Germain, but that would seem like a needless move for him, really. Like, he'd go there and he'd be first choice and he'd get paid a lot of money, but do you want to be doing that, committing to that sort of move at, 22 years of age? Probably not.
What was that? I mean, Navas is good. He's good, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is good. Donnarumma wouldn't want to move if it's to play Europa League football, which comes back to the point of maybe Tottenham and Arsenal, where they might miss out on him. Because next season, if he stays in AC Milan, he's got Champions League football, not Europa League, Champions League football. So I'm not sure he goes to Arsenal or Tottenham because just for competitive reasons. But yeah, there are. He would be a great fit at Tottenham. Great fit. But as you mentioned, I don't know where else he can go. Who needs a goalkeeper right now? It's not like they're a lack of
Dortmund,
goalkeepers.
Dortmund, but then is that appealing
Oh, they've
right now
got
for you?
two terrible goalkeepers there.
Yeah, but is that an appealing move right now with Dortmund, given
They
that
won't pay that salary. They won't
Wow,
pay him that salary
yeah,
ever.
yeah, very
Unless
good
they
point, actually.
unless they really want a new goalkeeper after they sell Sancho and Haaland maybe in the summer, but I think they'll need more than a goalkeeper.
I mean, it's a total swerve move in terms of like historically, they will not be a big club, but to me, they are going to get top 4 football, and they've got an aging goalkeeper who's very good, but is going to be replaced at some point. Leicester City, just they're on in the background here as well. Leicester and Villa. Kasper Schmeichel's great, but he's come up 35, and you're thinking, if Leicester can get top 4, if Leicester can cement themselves as a top 4 team regularly, which they have been, they've been thereabouts the last few seasons after winning the Premier League, then, I mean, it sounds nuts to say, but Donnarumma, I think, would be a really good fit for Leicester. Obviously, they don't come with the glitz and glamour that somebody like a 22-year-old full-time international who's been playing senior football for AC Milan for 6 seasons. Is Leicester that appealing for you? Probably not. But yeah, I don't know, the dream room me would like him to stay at Milan and this be part of a new kind of glory era for Milan.
They've got so many young players in that Milan side that they can build on. If you look at Kessie and Calhanoglu, who's not old, got Leao, Hernandez, the list goes on. It could be a dynasty. But I think if he is to move, then the most likely move he'll make is Milan. But to the other team, because Handanovic is getting.
But that does happen. It does happen, doesn't it? It's in that culture.
He's getting old now, Handanovic, and he's not the goalkeeper he was. He's still top level goalkeeper. Let's not get that wrong. But, and also, you got to take into account who's taking Antonio with him, because the deal with Donnarumma is you get his brother who sits on the bench. There's nothing.
I love that. It's like the dodgiest deal ever.
No, that was part of the last deal. The last deal was you got to sign also Antonio a contract extension. It's like, okay.
I suppose you look at, like, I don't know, we seem to have, like, until Seb brought up there, we've kind of almost ruled out any Italian clubs. But like
Juventus. I'm not convinced by Szczesny, so
No,
what? No, I like Szczesny. Oh,
I'm not convinced. I think he's a lorry sugar coated a bit.
I thought he was a bit harshly criticised at Arsenal. I liked him. I think.
Definitely.
He was
I think he's
harshly
had great seasons at Juventus.
Yeah.
He's a decent keeper. I just think if you got the option, if you're Juventus, you got the option of Donnarumma on a free transfer. Then I think he's to me he's definitely an upgrade on Szczesny, and he's free transfers, so you can afford to throw a bit more wages at him if need be.
Yeah.
And then Szczesny maybe goes to your number 2, or maybe he looks for another club, because it depends what the crack is with Buffon, I guess, if he's going to stay on for another season or not. As
extend his contract until he's about 57.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, no, 58, come on.
He's still waiting for that Champions League medal, and he's
like,
not leaving until I get it.
You know what I'd love to see? He doesn't win it as a player, but he somehow manages Juventus and then wins it as a manager instead. Now that would be... Can you imagine his speech? It'll be 58 years of pain now gone.
Isn't that like that's like one of the versions of Three Lions, I think, that's been released over the years.
Yeah. Years of pain, years of hurt. Is it? No, they use years of hurt. Don't
there's
they?
There's a goal. It's not in the Milan Derby. Leicester have scored. Leicester have scored.
Leicester! No, damn it! I need
Madison,
Leicester to lose.
Madison.
Oh, is it Madison's been so good this season.
So the rivalry between Madison and Grealish is full throttle, and Madison.
Yeah,
who has better hair though?
Today.
I think Grealish has better hair.
Grealish, did you say?
Yeah, I think Grealish has the better hair though, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Debatable on that one.
But Grealish isn't playing, and I don't know why. Has he got
I can't say
knock or
anything with this
something?
mullet. It's proper. This is
Is that lockdown hair?
It is. It's the third mullet of lockdown I think I've had.
Third mullet.
Yeah.
Oh, Hakimi's just been given a yellow card. Yeah. Let's have a look at the foul.
Nice. That knee is so close to getting somewhere.
Is that a booking though? It's not like he can move out the way.
That is very much.
He can't move out the way. It's just
an amber card.
He can't move out the way because he's put himself in that position. That's why he can't move out the way.
He can't move himself out the way, but he does send his whole body into the tackle when he knows he can't get out the way.
Oh, yeah, but he may as well take them down in the process.
No.
That's fair. I agree with that. But then that's why you get a yellow card.
That's a Roy Keane effect there. You got to take him down if you're going down. But or Scholesy-esque, he used to do that.
Can I mention how bothered I am that Theo Hernandez has Theo written on his back and not Hernandez?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not 12. I mean, you can put your family name on it. I don't know.
well, if anyone's wondering, because it's midway at the first half, it's been all Inter at the moment. There was one moment with Zlatan with his back heel, but there was no pace or power, and it was easily dealt with. But yeah, Inter Milan.
I don't know, there's a decent bit of possession now. I say that as they give the ball away. I say that Milan, they seem to be building a little bit, like they're just taking the edge off. They're trying to get a few passes together. It's just, yeah, but Inter Milan this first, half an hour, 25 minutes have been pretty relentless.
Cross comes in, easily picked up.
I think this match goes to prove how underwhelming the signing of Tonali is. And I know he's young and 20, but he's not fitting into that system at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Because everyone wanted him in Italy, and he's gone to AC Milan. And I don't know if it's a permanent move. I think it was a loan with an option to buy. I'm not sure it's an obligation. So would AC Milan activate that? I don't know.
I think they would. I think that the clause was. I remember being impressed by how relatively low it was. I think it was only something like 26 million euros, which
it's low
for someone who is 23 now, and it is going to be. Hopefully, he's going to be a top player. You think for Milan, if you've got that in a bag where you can activate that and sign him for somewhere around the region of 26 million euros, you probably would do it. But yeah, no, I agree with Seb. That midfield two of him and Kessie hasn't really worked, and it's I wouldn't put it on any of that really on Kessie. It's just Tonali's.
Kessie's been fantastic though this season, hasn't he? He's really been, and I keep going over this time and time again, but Benasser not being in that team is a massive loss.
Yeah, that's your main creative spark, and it's a strange one with Tonali. I think everybody sees him as the next Andrea Pirlo, where he's that sort of player where throw that in there. But yeah, he's that player where people envision him playing deep and slipping little passes through the defense and whatnot. And I don't know. To me, I think he's maybe more useful higher up the pitch. But
Ericsson! No. Takes a block. Sorry, Andy.
Oh no! I don't know if I was on a slight delay there, and I was just watching that bounce.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Tonali, I think I'd like to see him a bit more at the pitch, but it seems very much that the plan of attack is to have him in that as that pivot with Kessie, where he's a little bit deeper, where he's going for that kind of deep line playmaker role, and hopefully it does come good for him because there's clearly a talent there. And I just like the story of him when he signed for Milan. That he could have gone to pretty much anyone that he wanted to, and he wanted to go to Milan because he grew up as a fan. And he rang Gattuso and asked if he could take his shirt. Just as a sign of respect. I like that story. And Leicester are 2-0 up.
Oh, 2-0 up Leicester. Oh, dear.
Harvey Barnes has just scored for Leicester.
Oh, so that's Villa probably down.
Oh, that's Martinez error there. That's a Martinez error there. He shouldn't be spilling that ball.
That's not like him. It's not like him, Martinez. He's had a great season.
No, but the Villa's defense is static.
Oh,
no reaction to the...
I'm with Seb on that. Vardy shot he parried out when he... Probably should have done better to hold on to that.
Yeah, but Villa's defence are often culpable of a lack of concentration. So when the ball goes towards the goalkeeper, just stand still and no movement. Everyone talks about Konsa and Mings, and I'm still not a fan. I'm really not a fan. I think Martinez has been the key to seeing too many goals. And when he makes errors, then Villa concede 2 of them.
And it's 2 already. After 23 minutes, it's 2.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, there was a big chance.
The one in the same... I think on a slight lag, yeah. It's the one in the same Harvey Barnes who I've spent about the last 2 months thinking, I'll put him on my fantasy football team this week. And I haven't still. And he keeps on scoring.
I have.
Oh, nice, Seb, nice.
Yeah, I took over you last week and you just got a few points more than me and got back in the lead ahead of me. And I'm disappointed. I'm happy with my first season of fantasy football there.
Maybe you might be in the know on this as I open a beverage. Is Cavani actually fit for today? I know it's nothing to do with the Milan Derby, but is Cavani going to be playing?
Good question. I'll have to have a look.
On fantasy football, he was yellow injured. The only reason I'm asking is I've got Richarlison on my bench to come in. So it's like, I'd rather, Cavani can sit this one out. I'm cool with that.
Jamie, I think you've got one of the scenes on the OBS where it shows your.
Oh yeah. We were gonna go through the results from the Premier League before.
Cool.
So West Ham United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Antonio and Lingard again has got a goal for West Ham United since going on loan from United. And Tottenham did get an equaliser from Lucas Moura. And guess who got the assist? The golf king himself, Gareth Bale.
He's back, baby. He's back.
Back, baby, says
Andy. I
Andy.
thought he got an assist, didn't he? Or did you say assist?
I said assist,
yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought you said goal. I was thinking, I thought it was Lucas.
You have selective hearing, my friend. Oh, Inter have a corner, though. I think it was Perisic who got into the box and he tried to make a. Oh, that was very important to go behind for the corner. Lukaku was ready for it. Yeah, there's a lot more up for this Inter Milan.
Yeah, massively.
I think it's just personnel that in Inter Milan's team, they've got a very compact midfield. Even if Eriksen isn't a hard worker, you've got Barre and Brozovic, and it's hard to get Calhanoglu into the game when you've got such engines in midfield.
Yeah.
And Calhanoglu is the key to this AC Milan side when they attack.
Especially when Beneka is out, then that's where you kind of go on. Calhanoglu he's your main creative outlet, and he's not really been at it the last couple of weeks. And I don't know, when he's not playing, he's totally that luxury player. When he's not, I don't know, you can't afford to carry it. Well, against someone like Inter Milan, especially in Inter Milan that are on it as they have been for this first half an hour, you can't afford to carry any players. And I think with Hakan Calhanoglu, that can sometimes be the case, really. But then the other side of that is he can pull a trick out of his arse, or he can knock in a free kick, sort of thing. So that's the I guess the trade-off you get with a player like that.
Yeah, but sometimes he actually does produce very hard-working defensive performances, like against Juventus. He was trying to run around the pitch the whole long. But then you have performances where he's not in the game and he just ghosts out. And he is actually one of the most creative players in the Serie A. I think he is the most creative one, if I'm not wrong, statistically, he's created the most chances. So he is definitely essential to how AC Milan play.
It's just under half an hour gone. AC Milan 0, Inter Milan 1. And of course, Inter at the moment will stay top if they can get these 3 points, which Antonio Conte will probably lose a bit of his hair with all the stress of getting his team another win. Of course, the man.
Blow. That was out of nowhere, like an RKO.
Well, I feel like if I was really drunk or I just didn't give a shit, and like if I met Antonio Conte, I'd be like, "Oh, nice to meet you. Is that a wig?" I'd be like pulling it, thinking, "Oh no, it's a hair transplant."
I remember the first time I saw him as manager at Juventus, when he first got the job there, and I remember him as the player, Antonio Conte, who had just, when I first started watching Serie A, he had this really thin hair, and then he had no hair, and then you see him as the manager for the first time in whenever it was in the 2000s. It's like, what? Is this the same guy with a really dark, thick, bushy mop of hair? Yeah, poor fella.
Almost like the Pep Guardiola one as well. You think that's him? I mean, he didn't have a lot of hair, Pep Guardiola as a player, but it just looks a lot different. Shaving it all off.
If we're talking the hair, it's like when you see 23-year-olds in Zinedine Zidane, it's like the dude that's just got this big, thick, bushy hair, and then about 2 years later, it's just the monk, as it were. Yeah.
Could just do with AC Milan getting themselves in this game, really. But Inter Milan, we've seen it though, haven't we, lads? Where Inter Milan, they can play some good football. They were like that last season as well, but they're just known for being inconsistent and not showing up in some of these games.
They've struggled recently, and I think the squad's getting really stretched. Now they've still got to go in the Europa League, and it's going to take its toll. It's not the biggest squad, AC Milan's squad, so if they're not starting well here, I don't see how they're going to get back into it in the second half, considering that even just generally, their first halves have always been a lot more solid than their second. On the other hand, Inter have always had better second halves than the first one, so I think we can tell which way this game is going to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think just for AC Milan being top for so long, from I think the 4th or 5th week, being top of the league, it was almost very much that kind of the traditional little engine that could story, where you had the big hitters of Juventus and Inter Milan, and then you've just got Milan, who were kind of playing above their means, really, in some regards. But like Seb said, it's not necessarily they haven't got the squad there. They've got a good 11, but even that 11, I'd say if you looked at it player for player, man for man, Inter have got a better starting 11. Juventus have got a better starting 11. Napoli got a better starting 11. Also even Roma, Lazio got a better starting 11. So Milan have been above expectations for so long, and it does look like it's starting to take its toll a bit, really. Whereas on the flip side of that, you got Inter Milan, who they seem to have their wobble at the beginning of the season, and now they've just got all this momentum of winning and winning and winning. And then obviously to go.
AC Milan nearly. The goalkeeper was beaten. If it had found the target, that would have been an equaliser. Oh, it's a nice chip ball into the box. Only half cleared.
Nice to get that. To get to that dropping ball.
And it's the way he places it. Oh, that would have been such a lovely finish.
That's great awareness to get on the end of the ball, and then he with his unpreferred right foot, he gets a shot away. But
such a shame.
Teo Hernandez is a solid attacking left back, unlike his brother, who's a bit more defensive. I mean, I'm not saying he's a defensive fullback, but Teo Hernandez just loves going up and is really effective when he does so. I'd say one of the better left backs in the league at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I do question him a little bit defensively, but I mean, that's part of the modern game, I guess, these days, where it's not with fullbacks. Bizarrely, these defenders aren't. It isn't really all about defending a lot of it. He brings
Fullbacks
so much.
defend?
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. It's like you've got like 6 heads if you're a right back who wants to just defend. Gary Neville would not make it in this game.
No, he would really
Phil
struggle.
Neville doing those step overs would make it.
Well, leave P-Nev out. P-Nev's all right. He went to central midfield. He was okay there.
I'll never forget Jamie Carragher saying on Sky Sports. I mean, no offence to Guy, but when does a kid want to grow up and be the next Gary Neville? It's so cool.
Yeah,
He's
that
right,
same one,
though.
he made, that same comment, that same interview, whatever it was, that the segment on Monday Night Football or whatever, where Carragher said he nailed it, where he said that nobody wants to be a fullback. Full stop. They're either failed wingers or centre halves that didn't make it. You maybe not big enough, and that's it. Gary Neville started as a centre back, and just because he wasn't the biggest of people, he ended up
Tiny,
eventually moving out to he ended up moving out to right back.
I can't believe Jamie has the guts to say he's tiny.
That's because he's one of me. I mean, at least I'm not Jamie Cullum, who goes out with someone who's, well, married to a woman who's pretty much a giraffe compared to him.
Jamie Cullen, is that the piano guy? The music guy?
Yeah.
Jazzy.
Okay.
He's
I think I
okay.
know what name.
I can't really avoid him because my dad likes him, so yeah.
You can avoid your dad. Maybe one way around it.
He's probably trying to avoid me, Andy. Actually,
yeah. The one time I met your old man at Calon, he seemed like a lovely fella. But you know, if it means not listening to Jamie Cullum, I'd maybe avoid your old man. Yeah.
Brilliant.
The price to pay, cut off
The
the
price
family.
to
It's all
pay.
because of Cullum.
You're dead to me because that Jamie Cullum.
I haven't seen him in 20 years. Why, Jamie Cullum?
And in those 20 years, Jamie Cullum has still not aged.
No, he
Yeah.
hasn't. He's probably 70, but he looks about 30.
13, you mean?
Yeah, 13. Sorry, yeah.
The size and the face, just everything.
So I always get the free wrong every time I say it. It's when people say, "Did you watch Friday the 13th last night?" And I go, "What, Friday the 30th?" No, the 13th, you fool. Yeah, that's what I meant. Oh, you said it wrong. Oh, okay.
Off a cliff, this has gone now.
It
Off
has,
a
hasn't
cliff.
it? It has. Let's
You,
just
Jamie.
end it. Let's just end
You
it.
brought Jamie Cullum, and then we've gone to Friday the 13th. I was feeling guilty for talking about other Italian footballers.
I miss the pub.
Well, that's why I thought if I was going to do this, I thought I'd get a few beers in. So I've got a few beers in the fridge.
Good lad.
There are
I've
other,
got-
other brands are available, of course.
I've left mine on the shelf. Hang on.
Left on the shelf. Ah, he's that small that he can't get it while his headset's on.
Oh, bless.
He won't have heard that either.
Heineken. There we go.
If they wanted to sponsor the show, we'd be more than happy to.
Oh
take
yeah,
Heineken.
oh! That's over the bar. The
Good
rebound.
save.
Oh, that somehow into a not 2-0 up there. I think it was Martinez. Was it Martinez with the shot, or was it Perisic? I can't quite.
There's Perisic initially, then Martinez gets the rebound, and I think that goes over. Oh, actually, doesn't get anything on it. It's Kjaer who gets a foot in.
What a
I
save!
do like that Kjaer's got. I wouldn't say resurgence, but like for somebody that was so hotly tipped in the Bundesliga, and then it just, I don't know, he didn't quite live up to that hype at the time. To see Simon Kjaer now playing for a Milan side, starting for a Milan side, is a key part of that defense. It's warms my soul a little bit.
I mentioned this, a lot of people mention how Ibrahimovic has a great impact on this team, and that is correct. The same transfer window they brought in Kjaer, and I think he's been even more pivotal to the way AC Milan play. Just experience in that back line. They don't. I mean, what is it? Ramanogli? I can't even say his name. Who's the most experienced-
Romagnoli,
Yeah, but he's not got bags of experience like Kjaer. But he has changed that team as much as Ibrahimovic has changed the team.
I'd go with that. Yeah, I think Romagnoli's one of them where, again, he's a little bit like Kjaer was 3 or 4 seasons ago. Well, probably 5 or 6 seasons ago, where there was so much hype around him, and he was nailed on to be this world-class centre half going forward, and it's not quite happened for Romagnoli yet. I don't know. I think it's one of those where because he came into the team so young, wore the armband on a couple of occasions as well. So and obviously he's an Italian centre back coming through at Milan. There's always going to be comparisons.
Oh,
to
good shot!
People like Franco Baresi. I think Romagnoli hopefully lives up to that. But yeah, Kjaer coming in alongside him just seems to have solidified that in the back. And that's it. Milan
He's got Tomori as well to come into that defence, who's actually done well when he's been called upon.
Yeah, it surprised me that one in a way that Chelsea were prepared to let him go, because obviously Chelsea have got a lot of centre halves, but to me, I'd be Christensen would be gone before Tomori. Maybe Rudiger, just because you could get a decent fee for Rudiger. I think Rudiger's a good centre half, but if you get a decent amount of money for him, I'll probably take that. So for me, it's a little strange to see Tomori. Not to see Tomori go to someone like Milan, but to see, and obviously it's only a loan deal, but to see Chelsea be prepared to let him go out of all the centre backs that are there.
See, this is the thing
it's a bit of a strange one.
This is the thing with Rudiger. A lot of people do criticise him, but yeah, I actually quite like him.
I think he's good.
Yeah.
Have you seen him sprint? How high is he?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like me when I've woken up in the morning and I'm up for the day. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's a weird one, but I like Rudiger. I don't know what it is. I just like him, and he's German, so you can't beat a German defender. Anyway,
you can an Italian defender.
I'd say a lot of people can't beat German defenders. If you look at Sule, Boateng,
Mats Hummels.
Sule,
what's happened there?
Hummels, of course.
Oh, Mats Hummels. It's just the decline of Mats Hummels. It makes me sad. It makes me sad. It's very much
and he's only 31, isn't he? 32.
Yeah, it's
32,
it's very much the encapsulation that perfectly encapsulates Dortmund's run over these last couple of years. Is Mats Hummels? It's just off a cliff.
Marco Reus had his, I can't remember how many, but he reached 250 or 300 Bundesliga appearances yesterday, something like that.
Wasn't it?
300, there we go. So
I think it was 300, yeah.
Not 30.
I'll always have a big soft spot for Marco Reus just because he was that one that didn't make the jump. He stayed there.
Yeah.
Goetze left to go to Dortmund. Hummels went to go to Dortmund. Lewandowski went left and went to Bayern. All these players, and Marco Reus was the one who was just like, no, I'm not interested. I want to play for Borussia Dortmund. That's it. I'm cool with that. Even Shinji Kagawa left to go to Man United. There's basically
and then went back.
Technically, Royce did make the jump from Mönchengladbach.
Well, there is that. But once he got himself to Dortmund, it's like there's the two the mainstays you look at. There's him and there's Lukas Piszczek. That's kind of like the staples that have stayed around.
Marco Rose made the jump to Dortmund, didn't he?
Exactly. From Mönchengladbach as well.
The prick.
They could be a new partnership.
I love Marco Rose. He's done good.
When Bayern Munich go up against Dortmund, seeing Lewandowski and Royce just, high-five each other, it's always so wholesome.
It must be like, if you're Marco Reus, I mean, obviously you've stayed there because that's your club now. You want to be loyal. It must be like a little bit, you must die inside when you play Bayern Munich and you get turned over and Lewandowski's bags a couple of goals and goes in the league, where it's like, I don't know, I'm sure you want to just say to him, like, mate, why didn't you just stay? Go on, for like another couple of seasons, you could have stayed and then gone to Bayern. Instead, once he made that jump, there was that brief window in time for maybe 3 seasons when Dortmund were proper competitive with Bayern Munich. I mean, they've been competitive. They've been second in the years since, but it's not been competitive.
They've had a massive gap. It's been such a massive
you're
gap.
second, but of what? You're second. I mean, people talk about the Premier League is in the 2 different sets of tables with the bottom half and the second half. The Bundesliga basically became a literal one-horse race, and then it was playing for second place. And Dortmund were top of that, but it was nowhere near competing with Bayern. And you think if you're, I don't know, it's just a kick in the dick every time somebody leaves to go on a free transfer as well to your biggest rivals at a time when you're thinking if you could have just stayed for another few seasons, Dortmund could have had that success, because Bayern have always got the pull. Bayern are always going to get the best young players, and it was like the dynamic had briefly started to change, and then as it was about to change, everybody jumped ship and it just went back to, no, Bayern are going to dominate now for a decade. Yeah. So yeah, poor Marco Reus. He could have left, I suppose. But,
he could. Yeah. I remember those summer transfers when you'd always hear about, Goetze is gone now, Lewandowski is gone, they're all going, and then it was literally Marco Reus pending.
Yeah.
You know, it's like. When's it happening? It's like, come on.
And they were all on free transfers. That's the thing as well.
I know. Lewandowski on a free. Oh my God.
That's what makes it even more painful for Dortmund, is the fact that it's one thing to lose your best players, and it's another thing to lose your best players to your biggest rivals. But then for them just to run down their contracts, it's not cool.
It needs to change, doesn't it? Dortmund. It's just a shame. I mean, Dortmund are a big club. You know, it's. You'd think they can compete, but they just can't. It's really weird.
No.
But Bayern Munich are just that European elite club, like the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Yeah. And everybody wants to go to them, especially any young. Well, 90% of the young German players growing up, that's their end game, is to end up at Bayern Munich. And going there, you're pretty much guaranteed to win at least the Bundesliga and maybe the German Cup, and then it's
Yeah.
like you've got a good chance in Europe as well. So going there that you're going to win a load of trophies. I'd like some players to have that option on the table to buy him, but go, no, I'd rather go to Borussia Dortmund than try and get them back to where they were. But that's me being a bit of a dreamer. It doesn't really work like that.
And there's always one kid who just loves burgers, and he always wanted to play for Hamburger, which is actually quite easy as long as he can actually run on the field. Then he should be absolutely fine. But yeah.
Wow.
Jamie, I'm hanging up.
All right, see you later.
Yeah, we're all going. That's it. End of stream.
Oh.
Jamie's killed it. He's ruined it for everybody.
I've not been to see Hamburg play, but my brother said he went, and he said it was awesome. It only cost him a tenner to get in.
Wasn't a Bundesliga side when we went, so couldn't.
No, Bundesliga 2 these days. Poor Hamburg.
Yeah, shame.
Has anyone seen much of Eriksen in this match, or
No,
am I dreaming?
No, I've seen more of him on my shirt, but that's all I've seen.
I think the way that AC Milan have been stopped today is not because any player in the midfield has been particularly good. It's just that the numbers are there. For instance, there are 5 people in midfield, and Hakimi, I'm not sure I've seen a lot from him either. I think the attack has really come from Lukaku and Martinez, and somewhat Perisic.
Yeah. It just seems to be bypassing the middle of the park a little bit. It's all very much down the flanks and up to the front men. And yeah, it seems like you've got that creative player, that playmaker, as it were, in Eriksen. It just seems like he's not. They're just bypassing him really. But I don't know, we've talked before about how he has actually started to become a staple of this side in the last couple of weeks and months. After it looked like for all the world he was off again in January. It looked maybe back to Spurs, but yeah, he's back. Well, he's starting for Inter regularly.
I think he still needs if an offer were to come in, say for like 30 million euros, I think Inter would still accept because his wages.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. It's the wages.
I agree.
That's the big putter for everybody. They signed him to those massive wages because they got him relatively cheap because his contract was running out.
It really is a catch, isn't it?
Yeah,
right
here he is.
Pandemic.
But
right before the pandemic. That's it. It's
Inter Milan's wage bill is enormous considering that they don't have Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah,
and it's unsustainable in Italy. It's not as sustainable as in the Premier League.
What is that? That's touch from Kessie then.
Yeah, he's having a terrible game. He is having a terrible game, Kessie.
1 minute of added time from the fourth official. Oh, and
what's Rebic done there? What is Rebic doing?
Just goes down.
God,
there's a free kick, I think.
Yeah, of course. There's Rebic just barges into him.
Wait, you're in time with us now, Seb?
Yeah.
You're not doing a Chris Kamara?
I think I'm about. I think I'm about 3 or 4 seconds off. To be fair now.
Oh really?
I have 2 streams on. One that's in time with you, and one that's the HD. It's kind of it's a very cheaty way. You're like, oh, something's happened here. I'll watch it more attentively.
I can see it happening, and I can watch it in actual good quality a few seconds later.
I need to process it twice to understand.
Oh, yeah, Milan can't concede it. This would be you're thinking just how the first half's gone. If Inter get a goal here, it's game over. Game over for me.
Yeah.
Good a lot for AC Milan to come back.
Oh, Zlatan and Lukaku are next to each other.
Look at you stirring the shit up here.
Yeah.
You're doing this one, Jamie.
I want to see something happen here. Go on. No. Ball comes in. Header. Over the net. Oh, good cross from
ball
Eriksen.
comes in. There we go. That's my delay.
Andy, what happened?
Skriniar headed over the bar.
There you go.
There you
go. Oh, half time, and the referee's having a few.
Wow, very much should have done better there. That header, just seeing the replay of it.
Not a bad effort. So it's half time between AC Milan and Inter Milan at the very well jam-packed San Siro. No, sadly in COVID times it's a very empty San Siro. So your thoughts, Andy, in that first half? Inter, I think they'll be happy, but they know that the possession has been there to double the lead.
Yeah, just when you're looking at the possession and you look at the attacks, you look at the chances, Inter Milan are clearly head and shoulders above AC Milan today. It's going to take a lot for Milan to get back into it. Inter seemed to simmer down a little bit in maybe the final 10 minutes, I think, but it wasn't like Milan were making a whole lot of the chances. Yeah, they had the ball for a bit, they kept holding the ball for a little bit, but then they're always at, I mean, it's a cliche, but they're always at one mistake away from letting Inter Milan just get the ball. And as we saw towards the end there with Frank Kessie, where he just an awful touch gave the ball away, Inter Milan a break in, and you're thinking could be 2 here. In the end, it ends up being a free kick, and again off the free kick could have been 2. Skriniar, I think, should have done better with that header. So yeah, there's a lot to do for AC Milan in this. Inter Milan have been dominant, you'd say, and hopefully hopefully Milan get a kick up the backside at half time and come out and actually try and make a game of this. Because if it goes on like this, it's only a matter of time before Inter Milan get a second.
Absolutely.
I like that dramatic pause then. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. It's when you're listening in and then you're making sure you agree. Anyway, let's just quickly go through. Of course, we're on our screens now. We're showing you the scores from the Serie A of this weekend. So it all started on Friday night. Fiorentina winning 3-0 against Spezia. Spezia, of course, beat AC Milan last week, but the momentum wasn't with them this weekend. There was also another Friday night game, and that was Cagliari. I can't pronounce it. I'm terrible at this. Cagliari. It's so Italian. I still can't say it. They lost at home to Torino, 1-0. Lazio won yesterday 1-0, which, Seb, you saw a bit of that, didn't you?
I'm sorry, I just missed what you said. What?
I was just saying.
I saw bits. I didn't really pay that much attention. I didn't even see the goal, so it's a bit of a stretch then I watched that one. Or saw it. But Lazio, 2021 continues to be brilliant for them. So they will be pushing for Champions League spots, and maybe if any team slips up, try and push for second. I don't know.
It's them and Roma equal on 43 points, I think, in third and fourth respectively.
Yeah,
Lazio fourth, so it's
but they're a bit far behind Milan, so it'd take a lot to catch them up. It's not impossible, but I don't see it happening. And they've got Champions League to deal with. Lazio notoriously have a very, very thin squad. That starting 11 is usually quite similar every week in, week out. So that's why I worry about now, especially coming up against Bayern Munich. I don't think they'll get through against Bayern Munich, but they might spend a lot of their energy on those two games, and it could hinder their chance to stay in the top four, especially given Juventus are 2 games behind. I think 2 points behind as well.
Yeah, Juve and Napoli both got games in hand on Roma and on Lazio, so that top four, well, those third and fourth places could easily both switch.
I'll trust Gattuso's Napoli to F it up when they get the chance to really capitalise.
God love reading.
I love them, but my God, they are just unpredictable. And I'm not okay with Friday night Serie A matches. Just not.
Why?
I'm not okay with it. I don't know. It's for Bundesliga and things like that. You know, tradition. Premier League doesn't play on the Friday night. Serie A neither. You get France.
Premier League's been playing Friday nights recently.
Yeah, but I'm not. I don't agree with it.
Seb's getting precious about his Bundesliga. Friday night's only for German football.
Exactly. And
Welsh Premier League. Welsh
Yeah.
Premier League. If I'm the only one who watches Welsh Premier League, but you know. Welsh Premier League.
Saturday morning to change my fantasy team, and I find that there was a Friday night match played, and I was thinking to myself, this is just not on.
Thursday nights, Friday nights, Tuesday nights, Monday nights. It's every night of the week these days.
Can't keep up. I'm not having it.
It has been a lot of football in the last few months with the tight schedule because of COVID. So yeah, it is crazy. Genoa 2-2 against Verona.
Genoa?
That's how I've always
said. Do you know Sally around the corner? Genoa, man. Come on.
Northern Muppets accent. That's how we say it. Actually, I learned the other day, Andy, that if you say Scooby-Doo like this, Scooby-Doo, sounds Scottish, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, because it sounds like you put on a Scottish accent.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Again, off a cliff here, Jamie. You need to bring this one back.
Off a cliff, yeah.
Reel it back.
Oh, kill me. Actually, there was a game on earlier, which was between Parma and Udinese, and that ended 2-2. Of course. What?
Udinese.
I'm terrible. I'm terrible. As you can see, Italian football, when it comes to broadcasting, I've never done before. Poor Andy is ashamed.
I know. I'm not. I'm not ashamed. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed, Jamie.
Just disappointed. God, you sound like my dad.
Exactly. Let me just put some Jamie Cullum on. Yeah.
You know who's at Udinese now? The striker who started today. It was Fernando Llorente.
Yeah,
just put that in there
because he was a free transfer, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's
been a free transfer everywhere, and in the last few years. Bless him.
Yeah. True.
So, of course, looking at the live table, if it stays at 1-0 for Inter, they'll go 4 points clear. And actually, Roma, of course, got a game in hand over Inter and AC Milan, and they are 6 points behind AC Milan, but they're 10 points behind Inter. So, really, it's looking to be either between Inter or AC for the title. Juventus, actually, they've got 2 games in hand, but they've not been the best this season, even with Cristiano Ronaldo there. And, of course, Pirlo being their manager, very inexperienced manager, hoping to get them success. But he's taken them to the Coppa Italia final, so, you know, who knows, he could win a trophy at the end of the season. Lazio
Harry
are
got
fourth.
sacked for less than this.
So it's with Pirlo, God love him again, the t-shirt, but it's very much Frank Lampard syndrome for me. I think at the moment,
It is a bit.
Frank Lampard got to a cup final, and it's I think it's just because of how dominant Juve have been in Serie A for so long. For them, if they didn't win the title, and for them to come third, fourth, it's that. Even though it is Andrea Pirlo, a legend of the club, then I don't know. There's big questions there, I think, and you wonder then, would he get another season in charge? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
It's actually not bad what Pirlo's doing. I think people really get it, and it's quite intriguing when you see tactically. But then there are games that they lose against, the one against Inter, and you think, okay, they seem just a class below Inter in that game. Or the 3-0 against Fiorentina, which is kind of a freak result. And that's what Juve have had. They've been really unfortunate with a lot of draws in the beginning of the season. So they should, given how games should have gone, they should be in contention for the title with AC Milan and Inter Milan, but they just drop silly points. You don't know how. And is that because the manager's inexperienced? It's hard to say, or is that just individual errors? Again, hard to say. I think they will give Pirlo time, but I think as soon as 2022 comes, when his contract is up, I'm not sure they'll renew it.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid take on that. And you got to think that, I mean, every team has been reliant on him in some sort of way wherever he's been because of how good he is. But you can't just rely solely on Cristiano Ronaldo, and that's what a lot of Juventus is right now. For him getting you points, him getting you goals, and I mean, Real Madrid did it, but they had other players around him contributing. Man United did it, but again, you had a Wayne Rooney or Carlos Tevez, whoever contributing. And at the moment with Juve, it does very much seem, out of all the clubs he's been at, all the seasons he's played so far, it seems very much like this is the Cristiano Ronaldo show. And not just him being Cristiano Ronaldo, but the fact that the rest of the players, he seems to be, I don't know, very much the people who've been there for a while at Juve are used to winning. They just take it as a habit. And then they seem to have also gotten a habit of knowing that, like, well, it's all right if we don't play that well. Cristiano will save us, but he can only do so much. He is only a man.
Exactly.
He's not Zlatan.
Exactly. And he is 35, 36, so it's, you know...
his salary is enormous, though. His salary is...
Yeah.
And there's the big problem with Juventus now is since Chiellini's come back from injury, he's tried to adapt the system where he play a bit deeper, demanding a lot more from midfielders, demanding a lot more from Ronaldo, and Ronaldo's getting less chances. So you see matches recently, for instance, one against Porto even, and I don't rate Porto as a team in the Champions League, but even that match they lose the match against Napoli. Okay, admittedly in the Napoli game they were on the front foot, but Ronaldo's getting less chances, and the less chances you get, the less you'll score. So it's starting to bite them on the backside. They've got Crotone, I think it's tonight. So last place, Crotone basically giving away points at this rate, so they can get back on track. And they're 2 points. They're 2 games behind the Milan team, so they can catch up. But they won't win the title for me.
I think it would be like a very Juventus thing though to just end up winning this season after all. It's like we saw there's so many times, 2 times in the bounds when Napoli was so close to winning the league and everything was going in their favour.
That Napoli team.
But Juventus just win the league because they're Juventus. So just when you think that there's going to be a change in the guard, Juve, the old lady pulls something out of her ass. And so while it's like, it looks like, to me right now, it looks like nailed on for Inter Milan to win the league. I'd like for AC Milan to win the league, or Roma, or Lazio, or Napoli. But it really wouldn't surprise me if when all's said and done at the end of the season, it's Juventus again.
Really?
Juventus.
Yeah.
Just because of Juventus. That's it. That's all I can say.
The last games of the season, so the last game is against Bologna, but the before last game is Juventus versus Inter, Juve at home. And 2 games before that, Juventus are home to AC Milan. So they could have a big say in this title race near the end.
Yeah. Very interesting. It's all set up there for it to be a dramatic ending if Juventus can get those wins in those game in hands, that's for sure. Just going through the stats, so the possession, it's same as Brexit, 52% to 48%.
Wow!
Why not?
Every single stream, this is the Brexit stats.
It's always the same, majority and all that. Anyway, in terms of what you're wondering, that's AC Milan with more possession, which surprises me a little bit, but that is the case. It's obviously only by
more direct
4%.
Into that's why they haven't.
Totally.
So possession's based off the amount of passes that you do, which I only found out recently, which I was shocked about. And AC Milan have kept it a bit more by passing between them, but Inter is more direct, getting those pockets in behind AC Milan. Not exactly a lot of build-up play, but effective. Sorry, continue.
No, it's all right. 4 saves for AC Milan, 3 for Inter, so of course that's quite interesting from that. Penalties, none, of course. Total shots, there's been 10 for Inter. As I mentioned, it has been a bit more Inter in that first half, and they've only got a goal so far. 5 for AC Milan, but the shots on target, it's 4 for Inter, while AC Milan have had 3. So it is tight. The stats are telling you that it is a tight game. Shots off targets, 4 for Inter, 1 for AC Milan. But yeah, stats can say all sorts of things, but it's whether or not it really does paint the picture of what you're watching. Of course, a picture, when I say watching, a picture could be a moving picture. But who knows? I don't know if that's possible.
I think the saves have been... I think...
They've not been big saves, have they?
Donnarumma's had more
one
difficult
save.
saves to save. Handanovic has had relatively easy saves.
Easy saves, yeah. No pace on the shots as well.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Fouls made, 5-all. Fouls suffered, 5-all. Don't know what that means. Shots against the post, none. Goal scoring chances, 4 for Inter, 1 for AC Milan. And, of course, 1 assist for Inter Milan so far, and AC Milan have been offside the once. But there's so much stats in football now, which I still don't get some of it. Like, I just wonder how on earth they count it all. I don't know if it's one guy or 2 guys, or I'd love to know that.
2 guys? He's out of retirement? Last time I saw him, he was playing for Blackburn.
No.
Oh my God, Turkish legend.
Or not 5 guys.
Oh,
Sorry.
That sounds like a night in with Jamie Davies.
Cliff,
Don't
Cliff, gone off it again, Jamie. You've gone off it again. I'm actually. I want to come on to the stats thing because I find it really interesting. I was offered the project the other week about tracking ice hockey players with captors that track all sorts of statistics like how tired they are, and it registers a lot. So it's in their shirts, I think they're saying, and it just registers everything to which level the player is fatigued. And just the stats all come up automatically because it's pre-programmed. But they wanted to optimize it even more, which I thought was quite intriguing. And I was getting explained it for about an hour. And yeah, just basically a lot of different devices on your shirts. I don't know if they do the same in football. I'd love to know if they have on each shirt or in their socks or boots or something, a little tracking device to be able to track this sort of data.
Yeah.
There must be something because someone cannot. Yeah.
Yeah, they have like the vest, don't they? A lot of the Premier League players doing the top level players.
Okay.
A lot of it's in there, like the tracking, so they can see how much they've ran, how many intensive sprints they've had, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Part of me is like, I'm very stats orientated, but I don't like stats because stats don't tell us the full story.
Thank you.
That's helped your own argument.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
Your argument.
But that's the horrible thing I hate about football arguments now. It's all stats. It's like, I don't care. It's like
XG.
XG. I know, XG is horrible. It's a horrible thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong in using it, but it's like, that means nothing to me. You can have a shit game. So, sorry I didn't score the 2 goals you expected us to get. The one thing I hate about stats as well.
It paints an image, though. It paints an image.
Or
you could take anything like 80% of stats are wrong, aren't they?
There's nothing wrong with it, but the fact that they would want, if you gave it to me, I'd simply kick it out of my house. And probably bury it. But anyway,
I like Seb saying 80% of stats are wrong, which in itself is a stat.
exactly the point. It's paradoxical stats.
Yeah, it's
well,
like
what's that bit of
circle.
Simpsons? Is it Homer says it on Smartline with Kent Brockman? I can't remember what it was. I think it was. He says, I can't remember. Seb, I need you to remember it for me.
I'm lost here.
I can't remember.
Jamie Davies killing live streams since day one. Yeah.
I've been doing it for years.
Bringing it back. I see Luke Tanner's got in touch with a question to see basically just how what Inter Milan need to do in terms of their finances. Hi, Dad.
Hello, Dad.
Hey, Jamie Cullum fan.
Yeah, Jamie Cullum fan.
He doesn't. Jamie Cullum fan. Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, he says correct. Well done.
Brilliant.
He says he's brilliant. He's smaller than his wife, you know.
What, your dad is?
No. What's
He
that?
looks like he's going to teabag Jamie. He's going to teabag Jamie.
He's going to apparently. I don't know if he knows what that means. What? I'm having like 2 people speaking at once. I'm so confused.
Haven't you got any work to go to, Seb?
Oh no, not on a Sunday.
He says not on a Sunday. So long, Mr. Davis.
Off he goes to listen to more Jamie Cullum. Luca got in touch on the stream to ask
did he?
basically what we need to talk about Inter Milan's finances because they're on their arse. If you believe their owners, they're on their arse and they're looking to, I think it was 200 million euros they were looking for a bailout of. So Luke was just asking what they need to do to balance the books and what sort of players maybe might be off ski from the San Siro.
I'd usually say, like it's the Barcelona situation, get bailed out by banks, but they don't do that in Italy because the banks in Italy themselves need bailing out. So don't think that's an option. But they have to sell players, and I don't even know how they're going to make up for that financial loss. I've got no idea, because Inter Milan, just all Italian clubs are running themselves into the ground financially. Look at Juventus's business. All their players are on loan that they bought last summer. The option is to buy this summer. So I don't wonder what's going to happen when they have to fork that money out and actually pay. Because I think they expected fans to be back in the stadium by now to generate that revenue. It's not going to happen until the end of the season. So I don't know where this money's going to come from. I think Italian football's finances has been very short-sighted, and they might suffer badly in Europe if it continues this way.
Second half is underway. Yeah.
I like how when we were talking about that, when Seb first started talking about the finances and the money being spent by Italian football, the person that popped up on my screen was Christian Eriksen. It was a zoomed in
symbolic. Symbolic of this whole financial crisis.
A zoomed in shot of Eriksen. It's like, yeah, well, there we go.
It's like Eriksen was listening in there. It's like, you're talking about me.
Yeah. I guess the finances as well, when you talk about the players Juve have got on loan, and there's a lot of that going on in Italian football. That's been, well, how it's been for the longest time in Italian football. The players go on loan and then they end up being confirmed signings a year later or 2 years later in some cases. But then you've got to think of the knock-on in that of, if Juve can't justify going through with that deal, then you've got to look at the knock-on effect of the clubs on the other side of that, who they kind of plan their finances around selling that player for a certain amount. So Italian football's in a bit of a rut. But, well, to be fair, football across the globe is in a bit of a rut financially.
Yeah.
Which is why you've got
we're all going down. We're all going down together.
Yeah, it's like you've got very few clubs that can go out and just buy, I don't know, spend a shed load of money on a Diego Jota, a Thiago Silva, and whoever. Nobody's buying players.
Thiago Silva? Or do you mean Thiago Alcantara?
Yeah, Thiago Alcantara. They probably would have wished Thiago Silva, to be honest, right now, with that defensive crisis.
He was free.
Yeah, that's it. Nobody's buying players, and it's not going to change.
What a save!
What a save!
What a save! AC Milan close to getting an equaliser there. I'm not sure who got the header. Was it?
Zlatan.
It was Zlatan. Of course it was, wasn't it?
Of course.
He's here again. Another save. He's so good, isn't he?
That was very much a carbon copy of Lautaro's goal then.
I was actually going to bring up the stat that there have been very few. I don't think AC Milan have crossed a single ball in the first half. All of a sudden, two great saves from Hernandez. This is where they're going to get chances. Saelemaekers and Rebic really need to get in those positions now.
That was a great chance. That was a great chance. I mean, that's just Zlatan, isn't it? He's just so good in the air. I don't know if did you see Haaland's goal yesterday, Andy?
I did. Very nice. Very nice.
Is Zlatan again? And there's a strike. Oh, it's blocked on the edge.
And it's Tonali.
Another save.
Another good save.
Hey, forget those.
I mentioned that Handanovic is not at his best, and he's pulled out 3 saves in the space of 2 minutes.
Those save stats have changed a little bit.
That's poor for him.
Skriniar and Brozovic just asleep there.
Yeah. Whoever that goes to at the edge of the box there for Inter, that was slack.
Yeah, I think Skriniar is a weird one. I looked at. Getting it wrong. De Vrij in the first half had absolutely nothing to do. The only stat I can find is that he completed 11 passes. So
he's Dutch. He's Dutch, so we'll go easy on him. Got to go easy on him.
Yeah, you got to go easy on Dutch. Good save. Yep.
He's keeping him in this game at the moment, Handanovic.
Yeah, he is. Fair play to Milan. Whatever Pioli said at half time, they've come out all guns blazing.
Yeah,
they need to carry it on, that momentum.
Yeah.
I thought Inter would be very happy to sit back and absorb the pressure, hit them on the counter, because they can do that very effectively.
Totally.
And AC Milan can frustrate themselves in possession, but I think Conte might want to shuffle it up a bit and change that.
What is that header from Lukaku? There's nobody there.
Well, that's the thing. He can't play on his own up front.
Yeah.
Especially in the side that
he showed that United.
Boot the ball long.
Showed that United.
No need to. You can see there's nobody there for the flick on header, so don't go for the flick on header.
Try controlling it on your chest.
Exactly. Take a step back. Take it on your chest. You've got the time. You've got the strength. No.
Yeah, hold the ball. Yeah.
That's money for Zlatan anyway. That Zlatan doesn't have to pay out for those good first touches, I guess.
I think for someone who is of Lukaku's stature, it's quite surprising how bad sometimes he can be at hold-up play. He can be great as well, but sometimes you could just, as you mentioned there, to try to flick on it doesn't work. He does that so often.
No one
it's
there
strange.
for the cross, and AC Milan, they had a ball in, but they couldn't find anyone in the box. They're showing the headers again.
Yeah.
That one-handed save. It's a great save.
It's on his. I guess in a way, it's on his wrong hand. I guess you'd
say.
Yeah,
he does it like this, doesn't he? Saves it like that.
And what's actually quite surprising is he punches it out of danger. He doesn't punch it towards Latin because that's going to go in again off him or something like that. Punches it the other side. Risky if there's another player there, but works. It works there.
Skriniar's down.
Skriniar.
Oh, and Villa have just scored.
Oh, 2-1.
There's a bit of a kickoff. There's a bit of Kasper Schmeichel's on the kickoff with Ollie Watkins and Traore.
Oh dear.
Now and Tillemans, and the ball's gone back to the halfway line. So it's 2-1 Leicester against Villa. Yeah, Kasper Schmeichel's just ranting about something to somebody.
I don't know what he's mad about. That's what I don't get about Kasper.
I've not seen the goal yet.
Kasper doesn't get mad for the things you should get mad at.
Oh, that's a really nice touch actually on the left from Villa then. Oh, that is far too easy. I don't know what Schmeichel's actually moaning about there, unless there's something I'm missing by not hearing the commentary.
I could do with Leicester. Could do with Leicester drawing.
But Target is one that we don't talk about.
Tillemans there needs to be dropping in deeper. But yeah, let's all talk about Leicester and Villa on our Inter Milan and AC Milan live stream.
Comments are
oh, hang on.
Target is one that we don't talk about enough.
Yeah.
No.
And AC Milan not looking comfortable in there.
What are they doing there?
No. Luckily they got a free kick.
Yes. They had that really good 3 minutes, and then it just yeah.
Someone said to me, Kessie, the way he plays is almost similar to Yaya Toure, the way he can just glide through midfield, through players without effort. And I think there's something about right with that.
Yeah, he hasn't got quite the stature as Toure, because Toure is I think 6'3", and Kessie's about 5'9", 5'10". But yeah, just in terms of the being able to be powerful and drive with the ball and go past players, yeah, there's definitely a similarity there. That's one of the to me that's one of the best traits in any footballer to have. I mean, I make no bones about it. I still cannot stand Steven Gerrard. But one of the things Gerrard did probably better than one of the things he did better than anybody on the planet really at one point in time was that driving from midfield, just to get you yards. Let alone obviously then he can pull an assist out or he can score. But just to get yards up the pitch, just that ability,
especially against especially Olympiacos, West Ham.
All right, Stanis. Christ, I was only praising him briefly. That's it.
It's all right, Andy. Stan has paid me.
In kind.
In kindness, yeah.
No, not in kindness. In kind.
In kind. Okay.
Google that one. Yeah.
Okay. Scooby-Doo. Anyway. I don't know why I keep doing that.
You got what Scottish Tourette's, is it? Scooby-Doo.
I keep forgetting that there was a lot of Bundesliga games on today. They've done a triple header today.
Augsburg. I caught a little bit of. And when I say a little bit, I mean about 2 minutes when I was trying to when I was trying to find the Milan Derby on Sky on BT and realised it wasn't on Sky or BT.
Leipzig are winning at Hertha Berlin, that would be a good result for them after Bayern lost yesterday. Title race would be back
massive
on.
Shock that one with Bayern.
Yeah,
Jamie did predict a win for Frankfurt yesterday.
What can I say?
One goal out.
Oh shit!
He said 3-1. He said 3-1.
Just as I was celebrating, my chair nearly went. Into have a shot and straight to the keeper.
Yeah, easy for Donnarumma.
But yeah, I was going to say 3-1. That's what I did say, but yeah, it was 2-1.
Yeah, I said 1-1, so I was a goal out as well.
It's a strange one with Leipzig though, because obviously they're. With Dortmund being Dortmund at the moment, the only other team you can really hang your hat on to maybe put a proper sustained challenge in, it'd be Leipzig, and it's I don't know, it's that thing with Red Bull, RB Leipzig, where they play good football. I like what they do in terms of their model of getting really good young players, or whether it's getting them in from Salzburg even, just that whole system they have of just developing young players. Love it. But then there's the whole morals that come into it of the whole way that Leipzig came about, and the whole Red Bull franchise, yeah, it's just this massive conflict. But then again, it's we're at a point now where just anybody other than Bayern would be nice to win the Bundesliga. Probably.
Yeah, and if I'm going to ask a bit more of a broader question, if Leipzig do win the league, can Nagelsmann say, "My job here is done. I can move on"?
I don't see
probably.
Why not.
Yeah.
I don't see
I think I think he's got more reason to say, "Okay, now's my time to jump ship."
Yeah.
Well, he'll get offers across the continent.
He will anyway.
Yeah,
but I think, but if he doesn't win it this season, maybe that's incentive for him to stay on.
But who's going to pay for the suit?
That
jacket was
I don't know if his birthday's coming around soon.
It was around this colour as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen just what he wears recently. It's brilliant. I actually want to turn on the game now just to see what he's wearing.
I like this
I think
big
we're
coach
not-
that he's had.
Yeah, I think with Nagelsmann, it's what you're saying there, Seb. I think it's a little bit like what people were saying about Pep, where if Pep Guardiola wins the Champions League with Man City, is that when he just thinks, right, okay, cool, I'm done here. What's next? I think the same with Nagelsmann, because the mission statement has always been to win the Bundesliga. That's been, even when it seemed like a pipe dream, that's the dream for this whole project of RB Leipzig. And it's like, well, if you win that, what's next? And
Yeah.
chances are, that if they do win the Bundesliga somehow, chances are they're probably not going to win it the next season. Not to be a Debbie Downer on it, but Bayern Munich it's probably more going to be a blip if Leipzig won the league.
I mean, the fact that Bayern Munich have already got Upamecano, haven't they? For the new
That's
season.
again go back to the Dortmund thing. It's like just Bayern, no matter how well you do as a Bundesliga side, Bayern Munich are always going to be there. They're always going to take your best players.
Yeah.
With Upamecano, I mean, thankfully in one way Leipzig actually get a fee for him, unlike Dortmund. We lost all their players for nothing. But it's like it hammers home again that point of, yeah, Bayern's that draw. You can do so well, but Bayern could throw more money at a player. Loyalty, it can be easily bypassed by an extra zero on a check, sort of thing. And it's sad, but that's the reality.
An extra zero on the check, and it's just zero. Another zero, it's still zero.
And then they realise it's $1 billion. Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Handanovic, is that a replay
save.
from a save, or is that one that has just happened? Because if
No,
not, it's
that
another
was-
great save.
That was
That's from
earlier.
before, yeah. I'm getting confused.
Oh, he's
Because the
done it
last
back as well.
corner just then ended up going to no one.
Yeah, true. Calhanoglu were uncharacteristically wasting a corner.
It was a terrible
So
corner.
good at dead balls, but yeah, he's not really been in this game at all. But I suppose
No.
you look at Milan in terms of an attacking side, and you're thinking who has been in a game really that.
Well, the second half, it's been a centre around Kessie and Tonali where they're getting up the
Yeah.
pitch, and they're getting in those areas now to really hurt Inter. So that's already a plus, I guess.
God, those boards are so annoying. As a footballer, that would distract me. Make me get a plane ticket.
I'd hit that totally.
Oh,
It's in.
why didn't
Oh, it's
2-0.
It's
There we
2-0.
go.
Oh, never gone.
Lautaro Martinez. And
So
the
that's
ones who
2
mentioned
goals
get
for
into
him.
those positions. Yeah, we were mentioning that. I said before, Inter's midfield hasn't exactly been there, but Perisic has been the most lively if you're going to.
Well, the
Say
whole
out that
coaching
midfield
staff
five,
have pretty
and-
much gone up to Martinez while celebrating.
Yeah.
2 metre distance and not happening there.
But they're wearing masks.
Yeah, of course. That's how it works. That's how it
Yeah,
works.
so he hasn't scored a brace since he scored a hat-trick against Crotone.
Ericsson that slips him in as well.
I think
Ericsson
it is.
to
Yeah.
Perisic.
Ericsson
Yeah.
slips in Perisic.
Yeah, it's a really
Nice
good ball,
weighted pass, hey?
that. Yeah,
And Martinez.
Oh, it's a good goal. Triangular
overlaps.
football. Love it.
yeah.
He overlaps Ericsson, gets into that space in between the defenders and midfield, and yeah, the movement's perfect. And
I think that's part of what makes Perisic such a brilliant player is that that normally, I mean, again, just to throw back to one of my all-time favourites, Iron Robin. You know that when he gets the ball on the right, you know what he's going to do. He's going to cut in. He's going to cut in. He's going to cut in.
Oh, yeah,
Perisic,
yeah.
because he's so brilliantly two-footed, you don't know whether he's going to go inside or go outside. Naturally, you think that he's going to cut inside a lot of the time, and especially go for goal because of the goal ratios that he's had over the years. But he can easily just go down, drop his shoulder, go out the outside, and put a ball in his left foot. Just a great footballer who never played for Man United.
you said he was always linked with Man United when Jose was there. So is that a hint that Tottenham are going to get Perisic?
I think Jose would still take him.
I think he would. I think he'd take Perisic right now. Yeah.
Yeah, too right. I think, and as well, he's a Jose player in the sense that he works really hard. Perisic, he's not one of those where you're always going to get probably a 6 out of 10 out of him. Most weeks you're going to get a 7 or 8 out of 10 of him, and he's always going to put a shift in. So he's that perfect Mourinho player in that regard. Even if he is 32 now, I think. I think again you'd still take him at Spurs. Just it depends, I guess, whether when the next transfer window rolls around, whether Jose Mourinho's still at Spurs, I guess.
That's the thing. We don't know. I mean, of course, they lost today against West Ham.
West Ham. Yeah.
But I mean, I was reading that Spurs did have a good they played well, but they just didn't get the result or anything. But I don't know. I still just think
West Ham for top 4.
don't see why not at the moment.
Yeah,
It just seems
I
to be
know.
working, doesn't it? Even with the Lingard signing. But I think I mean, if they could carry, especially with West Ham winning when Liverpool have lost, that's such a big game changer for the top 4, because it's easy to just think, 1 or 2 defeats for Liverpool, and then it's like, oh, they'll be all right. But it's the fact that West Ham have taken that advantage, have been picking up points when they haven't. So I don't see why not. I think Liverpool will miss out on Champions League football.
I love how you say that and you're dying to smile. I don't know. I think if I look at it, I don't know. You're looking at the top four, and as bonkers as it sounds, I think that right now, just looking at how things are at the moment
It'll finish
February,
like that.
yeah, I think that you're looking at Chelsea or West Ham for that fourth place. That's if things carry on how they are, which sounds insane to think of that. Because I mean, Spurs have dropped off a cliff after such a great start, being top of the league for a couple of weeks. You've got Arsenal, who just do very Arsenal things. Where 1 week they're horrendous, they go on a run of looking like they're the worst side that they've ever been present for Arsenal. And
It
then
must
they
be the
go,
most frustrating team to put players in your fantasy team from that Arsenal
oh,
side.
too right.
People put Holding in and they're like, this isn't going to be Holding's week, is it? And
No.
He's not going to
just gets
hold
you
on.
minus points.
No, I think the only there's a yellow card in the Leicester Villa game.
That game.
Yeah, I think that with the top four, I don't know. The only team that could get in there, I think, is Liverpool if they pull their finger out, but they need to do that sooner rather than later. Because at the moment, it looks like obviously City look nailed on for the league. Then you're thinking Man United and Leicester probably second and third in some way, and then it's that fourth spot, which it's West Ham or Chelsea for me right now. Especially with Tuchel coming in and looking like he's reinvigorated this Chelsea side. So Liverpool can break it. I don't think Tottenham can. I don't think Arsenal can. Liverpool can get into the top four, but they need to sort their shit out sooner rather than later.
We just
Ooh,
talked about
AC
that
Milan with
Barnes
the
flick.
corner. Oh, it's
I
onto
don't
the
know if you
opposite
saw Andrew the
side.
Barnes flick.
I didn't know. I was.
Oh, that's delicious. That's delicious.
All I've seen now is
He
Leicester
just
got
flicks
free
it over
kick.
El Mohammedi, and he should have probably got a red Mohammedi there.
Oh, that was I saw the yellow card. I saw him get the yellow card.
the
but I didn't see
flick,
what
he just
score.
flicks. He back flicks it over El Mohammedi, and probably a bit heavy, but just still nice to see. Yeah, AC Milan have dominated the second period. This is AC Milan's half, but I mean, Handanovic, a few good saves, and then just switching off for Inter's goal, or second goal. It's a shame, actually.
Yeah,
And you
it
don't
seemed-
really see. Sorry, I go.
No, I was going to say with that one, with the second goal, it just seemed that somebody should have been on Ericsson a bit tighter. I think on the edge of the box. That was the key for me there because he had a couple of yards to take a touch and to.
He had a lot of
pass, and then-
space, yeah.
Yeah, that's it exactly. There should be somebody on that. Whether it's Kessie, whether it's Tonali. I mean, the camera's cut to Tonali straight after, so you're thinking maybe it was him that was out of position on that. But yeah, once that ball got through, it was a really good ball. No takeaway from that. And then Perisic did really well to put it across for essentially a tap in for Lautaro, but he had to be in that position in the first place. But, yeah.
I think it's a bit harsh to say that he should have picked him up, considering that Ericsson stayed in position and Lautaro overlapping him behind, which causes a lot of problems if you're trying to man mark someone. And then Perisic still running down that line. Someone should have picked him up, but it was good movement from Inter Milan to get into those spaces.
Oh, it was. No, I think the Lautaro.
Oh, it's
one-
Lukaku, surely. Oh, he's had to trick it. Oh, great save. It was actually
pulls it
right,
back
the
and then
keeper, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it's like,
right
I think
down
the Lautaro run. I think
Corner.
that's a really good run. The Perisic run's good. I just think in terms of picking up, it should have been somebody should have been picking up Ericsson. I think on that. That was where for me there was too much space. It was a bit lax for Milan.
Yeah, they were asleep to let in the only chance that Inter had in the half, except for now the Lukaku one.
Yeah. I think we all knew there Lukaku was going to somehow try and get himself inside onto his left foot.
I actually thought he wasn't. I thought no, he does try some right-footed shots now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never know with Lukaku.
I think Maddison's done in the Villa game and Leicester game. He's on the deck being checked out for the second time in about 5 minutes.
Oh,
So I think Maddison might be going off.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
That'd be worrying for Leicester.
I always think I don't know. Might be speaking that term. I always think he comes across like a bit of a prick. James Maddison. To be fair,
Really?
I think obviously he's a great footballer, but anytime. And I like arrogant footballers. I mean, I love Zlatan as we're watching this.
Yeah.
I like footballers that have that sense of arrogance to them in the way. Eric Cantona is one of my all-time favourite footballers. George Best, Diego Maradona. I like players that have that arrogance in a good way, almost like a panto villain. But I don't know. Every time I watch a post-match interview with James Maddison, he comes across like such a smug prick.
But he knows that.
Yeah, no, he does, and he plays up to it. And by default, I should probably like that. But for some reason, with him, I don't know. I don't know. It puts me off him.
That's why I love Roy Keane on Sky. Just because.
Roy isn't really arrogant. He's just.
Well, no, but he says it as it is, doesn't he?
He's just miserable.
It's just the fact that, like, when the Villa players were celebrating survival, and then Michael Richards and Roy Keane are in the presenter studio, and then Roy Keane's just not having any of it. He says they've only just stayed up in the Premier League, and then Michael Richards is just like, good header.
There.
Yeah, good header.
Yeah.
But then I think it was Michael Richards was then saying they've just stayed in the Premier League, man, and Roy Keane saying you shouldn't be celebrating.
Yeah, gotta love some Kino.
Ooh, it took a spin.
And get the header away there. Yeah, he gets a.
That's it. Tell you what, if I mean, he's certainly been watching enough cricket because they certainly know how to spin a ball with those bowlers. But yeah, that was a great spin. The last unexpected bounce going the opposite way. I like that.
And the goalkeeper keeps himself in a good position. I mean,
yeah.
Good for Handanovic. Handanovic, surprisingly, me saying he's passed it at the beginning of this game and he's pulled off.
Oh, here's Lukaku. Well, this is good pace. Oh, what a goal! 3-0 for Inter. Oh, Lukaku with his left foot, as Seb mentioned. He likes his left foot, and it's put them 3-0 up against AC Milan, and that's it. It's dead and buried now for sure. And I think, could this be AC Milan out of a title race? I know that's really early to say, but you know they've been lacking results recently, and you know it's that time of the season, Andy, where they've got to show why they're up there.
Yeah, this is a massive game, massive game. Inter Milan have just, obviously before this, Inter Milan had only just gone top of the league finally after AC Milan being top of the league for most of the season. And so for them to be a point ahead for this game and then to win this game, you put in AC Milan now 4 points. Well, obviously taking into account that this does end up in an Inter Milan victory. AC Milan 4 points behind Inter. The run they've been on's not been great with the Spezia loss 2-0, getting beat by Atalanta 3-0 all in the last couple of weeks. Drawing 2-0 with Red Star Belgrade, obviously with a weakened side in the Europa League, but that's not going to do much confidence. Well, not much good for their confidence this past Thursday. So, I mean, you can't say they're out the title race because of just how many games there are still to play. But yeah, it's a massive blow, especially for a Milan side that have been so dominant for so much of the season until these past few weeks. It's hard to imagine them getting back into it now.
Yeah.
But I mean, who knows with this? Who knows? I'm not actually sure who they've got next, but they've got to bounce
back. Next week is Roma, and so they've got Europa League in midweek. They've got Roma, and then in 2 weeks they've got Napoli. So this is a crucial time for Pioli if they want to stay in contention of the title.
Yeah.
And now
the season-defining stuff, that.
Yeah, and now the substitutes, he's taken off Saelemaekers and brought on Leao. I'm not exactly sure why Leao didn't start. I think he's not been great recently, but I don't think Saelemaekers is doing it for AC Milan at the moment. And Mate coming on for Tonali. Now, Mate is a weird one. He's loaned out from Torino, and he wasn't exactly great at Torino, but this is just almost to add to their squad depth, but it adds bad depth. It's really bad depth. Yeah, I'm confused by it. Milan don't have a lot of options off the bench to save this match, and do they have enough options off the bench to save their season or their title hopes?
No, I don't think so.
But let's be honest. If anyone told them 4th place before the season started, they'd have taken it.
Yeah, totally, 100%. I think it is. This is the point in the season where when you look at those fixtures they've got coming up there, what Seb said about Roma, this is where they've got to stand up and be counted, the Milan players. If they want to be in a title race, these are the games that matter. Let alone I keep going back to that Spezia one because it baffled me that they got beaten that. And Atalanta, this was a season where Atalanta had a couple of great seasons, but this was a season where Milan had almost taken that Atalanta role in that dark horse in the title race. Obviously, they were top of the league. And so, but for them to be beat so convincingly by Atalanta, that's my cat arsing around. I wonder what that was. Something moving inside of my room. It's the cat. I think Milan, they've got to bounce back for this. They've got to bounce back hard. Otherwise, especially when you take into account the game in hand, the games in hand that Juventus and Napoli have over AC Milan, then it could so easily from here. You could just see them drop down to 4th, 5th place. But hopefully not. You'd like to see him just bounce back well from this.
Top 3 maybe. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, of course, Atalanta...
Second will still be good. Second will still be really good.
Atalanta haven't been the same since Diallo left, of course, even though he only played 1 senior game, but, just...
Papu Gomez. Ilicic is great, but he can't do it all on his own.
He actually played the other night in the Europa League, only for 5 minutes, though, Diallo.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, of course, I reckon he'll play him. I reckon he'll start him against Sociedad. Sorry, so bad. Real so
I
bad.
heard that one on your other
Yeah,
show,
I
Jamie.
know. I
You're not getting
stole
away
it.
with
Oh, I
You
stole it.
didn't.
I know.
You didn't make that one up. Yeah, you
Darren
stole
said it. Yeah, I know.
He thinks he thinks we're not watching, Andrew,
Yeah.
and just caught him red-handed there.
Look, a lot of my quotes are off either Family Guy, The Simpsons, or someone else. So yeah, it's never me.
You basically just cited everyone.
Look at, wow, you see that goal then? That's
It's so good, isn't it?
It's a
Yeah.
good finish.
It's
isn't
the
it?
pace.
This league
I
is
love
just
the
so deep
pace.
as well.
Yeah.
It's, again, we were talking before, kind of partly in jest, but it was true about how, as bizarre as it may sound, that on his day when he was really at it, Marouane Fellaini was unplayable, and it's the same with Lukaku. When Romelu Lukaku is on that top form, it's you can't stop him. And there he's going deep looking for the ball, getting the ball basically on the centre spot, and then just spinning and just barging past people with that power, that pace, and then just a great finish. I remember a game he played for Everton against Arsenal, where it was just the same, where Arsenal always turn over Everton. And there's just one game where I think it ended up 3-0 or 3-1 to Everton. And Lukaku was just on. It was one of those days where he was on form. And we're not talking those pokes, those toe pokes, those tap ins from 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 yards in the penalty box. There was that stuff where he was getting the ball a lot on the right and just brushing people off, because the dude is a physical specimen, obviously. And just one of the best strikers in world football right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, Man United would love him there, but you know,
He's
that was that.
He's got 16 goals in 22 games in Serie A this season, Lukaku.
Yeah, I think with that one he'll be top goal scorer, because there was him and oh my god, who was it? There's 2 joint top goal scorers and there's Zlatan in second. But yeah, that'll put.
He's now first for Lukaku in the goal scoring ranking. Ronaldo's second, Immobile third, and then Ibrahimovic fourth. You've got Martinez just behind Ibrahimovic.
Oh yeah,
on 13.
yeah.
I've just seen on Twitter that Lukaku becomes the first player since Romeo Benetti in 1973 to score in 4 consecutive Serie A Milan derbies. So there's a fact for you. Which, as of course, Seb, I took it off someone. I addressed it. You know, I didn't make it up.
At least, yeah.
You know, I hope you're proud. I'm learning.
Exactly.
So under 20 minutes to go, and if you've just joined us, where have you been? We've seen 3 goals from Inter Milan to keep top of the Serie A table. We've had Yummy VFX, I think that's how you pronounce it, saying 3-0. Yep, 3-0. Well said. You weren't wrong. Hope you put a bet on that. The one thing we've noticed
it's
that.
going to end 3-0.
Yeah, or not. It could be 4. It could be 4. By the time this plays out.
Oh, what's happened?
No, nothing. I'm just thinking the way Milan are playing.
Oh.
It could easily the way Inter Milan are playing. It could easily be 4.
I thought for a moment my stream was behind and there was like a chance there for a 4th goal.
All you missed is Zlatan doing Zlatan things, trying to wind up Skriniar, and not really getting much out of it, to be honest.
And AC Milan are leaving themselves high up to get exposed to pacing behind from that Inter can offer.
Yeah.
So
like,
I imagine a ball from Bastoni and maybe Berea to run onto it like it did against Juventus.
Just go back to I saw before on the stream one for you, Jamie, that Connor had chimed in. Connor Porter, Firecracker Porter, had chimed in to say about maybe Skriniar being the next person to be linked with Man United. Like, would you take him right now?
I don't know much about him, to be honest, so I don't know.
He's really, really good. But
he really struggles badly when he's not in a defense 3. So when he's in 2, he looks all over the place. So unless United are willing to adapt, but then you take out players from the midfield, from attack, and United the same unit if they play through at the back. I'm not sure. I don't know. The idea is nice, but in reality, I don't think it's a good one.
I think with United as well, if they were going to play 3 at the back, I think Lindelof would be really good as part of the 3. Just he'd have a bit more time.
It worked against PSG. They had 3 at the back, and then they had the 4 backs.
I've said this multiple times that I loved Luke Shaw playing in the back 3.
Yeah,
I did.
So that's an interesting option.
What we in Wales call the Ben Davies role. That left
Ben
back
Davies,
as a left side centre half. Yeah.
Tierney can do as well.
Oh, that would have been a good
Donnarumma
goal.
saves it there, does he? Or
No, just wide. Just wide. It would have been a good goal. You love Beret, don't you?
Who relates him? He's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'd say he's one of the better midfielders in the world at the moment.
Yeah, and it's like, well, I say strange to see. It's interesting to look at the fact that him and Sandro Tonali, their career paths, because they both of a similar age, both came through at the same time, both with all that hype around them, and both obviously went to different Milan clubs. And you look at how things have gone for them so far.
Yeah.
But Barea has been absolutely top draw. I know it took him a little while to find his feet in the side.
Yeah, it's when the Europa League came around, we were starting to say, "Oh, he's good."
Yeah,
he's really good.
Towards the end of last season, it was
Yeah.
he just seemed to really cement himself as a okay. He
Oh,
just
that's coming off.
team.
Oh God,
that's
and
it.
Castillo coming on. That's a weird one.
That's a weird one. Corvin out
And
to go.
one thing that Pioli I think gets wrong often is his substitutions, and I think this
Yeah, I
one,
don't
even without
understand
seeing the
that one.
consequences, this one makes little sense. If he's going to put Rebic up top, they're not going to get anything from this game.
And we saw, didn't we, Seb, yesterday, Hansi Flick with those substitutions.
Oh, that was
Sane
even
coming
worse.
off, and then Martinez. It was like, what?
Coman coming off for Hernandez when they're losing.
Yeah, it made no sense. I mean, if they could, they still could have got a draw. I thought, but okay.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a really weird.
Did I just see Alexis Sanchez warming up then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
then he
to rub
went
it in,
back to his seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found that
United legend.
But I was
Just
going
for
to
scoring
mention
that goal
for
against Arsenal.
Barea, I like when, because this wasn't a Conte signing. That wasn't a Conte signing at all.
No.
Because
Which
Conte
one?
said, Barea,
Oh, okay.
and because Conte said, you can't win a league by buying players from
Oh,
Cagliari, and
yeah.
he's probably their best player now
Yeah.
because he came from Cagliari, or Cagliari, or whatever, however. You pronounce it.
Calorie. We'll go
Calorie,
Yeah.
celery.
Calories. How many calories today? This bottle is 20.
Oh, is Lukaku going off? Maybe is it?
Is he?
It looks like.
It looks like Martinez. That's
Oh, that's a shame. A hat trick in the derby would have been nice.
Yeah.
Fun fact that the only game I've ever been to at Old Trafford, and Alexis Sanchez actually scored. Crazy. One of his rare goals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was that against Swansea?
2-0. It was.
Yeah, because I remember you
You've
went.
been stalking me. Have you been?
Yeah, I always stalk. I need to know everyone that I'm involved with.
Yeah, in the space of 3 days, no, 4 days actually, because of travelling, I've been to the Camp Nou, and then that was
Nice.
on the Thursday. The Saturday was at the racecourse to watch Wrexham, and the Sunday was at Old Trafford.
I bet when you went,
to watch Man United.
I bet when you got to Old Trafford, I bet someone was like, match day again. You're like, oh, I'm used to that.
Yeah, it was totally weird. It's somebody that just goes and watches Wrexham for all of his life. It was just weird to
Camp Nou.
go into that environment. No, it was with Old Trafford where it baffled me the fact that you were there. I was sat in my seat watching the game, and then you go to the loo, whatever, and then in the concourse, it's just like hundreds of people who don't go out to watch the game. They just stay
It's really
in the
weird.
concourse,
Yeah.
drinking beer, watching it on the TV.
Watch it on
and
the
it's like,
TV.
well,
It's because
pay
they.
this for a seat just around there.
I know,
Wouldn't
yeah.
Sit there.
It makes no sense because I would whenever me and my brother went, I'd always go for a piss, and then just literally the same guy was there every time I walked past, and it's just like, but I actually think it's just the drinking culture. They really want to drink and watch the game, but be in the stadium.
Go to the pub and watch it then.
Yeah,
It's like, save
I know.
yourself the 60 quid of going to the Old Trafford or 50 quid, whatever it is for a ticket.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it was a good game. They won 2-0. I think Lukaku got the other goal as well. Sanchez, it was Lukaku. It was Swansea, it was 2-0. And then went to a pub outside. I think it might be called the Trafford. Maybe.
Oh, the track.
Please
Yeah.
tell me
yeah,
Ashley Young got an assist, because that'd just be perfect into Milan right now.
What was that?
What was that?
Just tell me that Ashley Young got an assist, because that'd just be the perfect completion for this into Milan circle. And Sanchez is coming on for Martinez. Yeah.
Ashley Young played. He may have got an assist. I think the Lukaku goal was a penalty though, possibly.
I love Ashley Young.
Yeah.
I don't care what
Definitely
people say.
played
I
him.
like Ashley Young.
I got lots of Jurgen Klopp comments in the Trafford, so that was fun. It was, yeah. But,
you should have said.
Just,
you should have. Oh, that'd have been hilarious. You should have gone boom.
it was just weird being in that sort of environment as somebody who just watches Wrexham, because like to get in this Trafford pub, you had to have a season ticket, and that's how we got there. Was a friend of a friend had paid to have someone's season ticket for a birthday present. They had a spare season ticket, and that's how I went. So we got into this pub, but it was just a weird atmosphere. It was in a good way. It was a really good day on the beer.
Nice.
Until my mate who's got a fiance later on in the night tried it on with some girl who was with her boyfriend who we met and got on really well with, just for some drinks. And it was just like, what are you doing, mate? who I won't name on the stream. But it was just like, yeah, there was the four of us sat in this bar afterwards while we were waiting for our train back. And we made friends with him in this Trafford pub near Dead Sound. This girl, this bloke who are ever engaged and married. And just while we were sat there, he just tried to kiss this girl. It's like, I was going to say his name. It's like,
Dude.
Barry. We'll say Barry. His name's Barry. Barry, what are you doing, mate?
Why not?
Like,
Why not
me.
Eric? Let's go with Eric.
Eric. Yeah, Eric.
What is
you
that,
do-
Eric,
what are you doing?
Jamie?
It was just like, yeah, it was just this weird thing of like me and like this girl's partner were both just sat there like, did he really just do that? Or tried to do that? And she's like, yeah, we left quickly soon after that and got the train back to Wrexham with a few beers.
Sorry,
Yeah, that was my
Barry
one-time
or
option.
Eric.
Yeah,
if
sorry,
you're
Barry
watching.
or Eric. Yeah, silly boy.
Brilliant.
Silly boy. Where did that come from? That came from Alexis Sanchez doing a warm-up. Yeah, bit of a random one there.
Oh, so 10 minutes to go, and yeah, AC Milan still not got a goal on the scoreboard, which Ibrahimovic is off now, so the chances are slimmer.
Yeah.
I always find I think is he putting Leao? No, Leao's not on the pitch, is he? Oh yeah, sorry, he is. Is he putting Leao up top? Is he putting Rebic up top? What's he doing? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
think
have
he's got both of
no
them up front.
idea.
But every time that Milan have tried putting two up front, they've lost.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And Castillo's playing what a deep lying playmaker role.
That's what I'm just looking at them. Like, why so there?
I don't know. I think they're just trying to go all out for it, just for.
Might as well. You
either
got 10 minutes left.
consolation.
You're 3-0 down. You're going to lose. You might as well go all out, I think.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
But it's a bit disappointing.
Even if you do concede another, if you go all out, maybe if you get one or two, then that gives some players a bit more confidence. One just a 3-0 beating. I don't know.
Do you know what I predict the scoreline to be, Jamie, or do you remember?
Oh, I can't remember. You did say an Inter win, though, didn't you?
I said 3-1, so I just need
Oh.
one goal.
Ooh.
AC Milan.
I can't remember what my
I'm good.
prediction was, to be
That'd be-
honest.
I can't either. We'll have to watch the video and see.
If it matters. I always find it
I'm
weird
still-
watching
I'm
previews after a game is done, because you just laugh at some of the people on TV that said this. You go, how wrong you were, Craig
Yeah.
Burley. Anyway.
Oh, with that.
Still mad that Craig Burley's a pundit. For somebody that like watched him in his playing career, throughout his career, it's like, so think of all the people that went into punditry, it's like Craig Burley.
I know, yeah. ESPN FC has kept his bills going, kept his bills being paid,
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, Craig Burley's
I
terrible.
was remembering just that he was the one that David Beckham rinsed when Beckham scored his first goal for Man United in the FA Cup against Chelsea, and it was Burley who was basically, it was a ball over the top. Burley was the last man, and Beckham just kind of like barged past him, went through, and then when I think Beckham had the 26 shirt, 25 shirt at that point.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it was 23.
Was that in his first year?
Shot over
Yeah,
there.
It's his first ever goal for United.
Oh.
Calhanoglu there. I love saying his name
Nice.
because I've been reading it for so long and I never knew how to say it. Like Calhanoglu. You got to hear it once now.
Hey,
Ashley
up-
Young's coming on now.
Hey, up the
Ashley
man
Young's coming on
opposite
now.
to old Ashley Young is coming on.
Right, on that note, I'm going to quietly disappear for 2 minutes, but I may take a comfort break, I think they call it in the trade.
You've done well lasting this far. Poor Seb's had to
I
deal with
know.
it all the time.
I deal with it.
Actually, amazingly, when Andy turns the cam off, it doesn't move all our cameras.
No, because it doesn't. It doesn't. It's
Ah.
well thought out that.
Akimi
So
coming
Ashley,
off. Go on, what are you saying, Seb?
So Ashley Young is just about. Well, not exactly. If Handanovic wasn't on the pitch, he'd be the oldest on the pitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that kind of goes against what I just said, doesn't it, really?
Well, that's why I wanted to find out. But yeah,
Trying to make
He's-
me feel like
he's-
Craig Burley, wrong all the time.
well, Handanovic is, I think, about he's a year older, but they're both born in July, so I'm not starting with that again. 5
Brilliant.
days apart, Ashley Young and Handanovic.
Actually,
Too
no,
old.
I probably already told you this, but Andy Murray and Djokovic are 5 days apart.
You see, are they
Yeah.
May by any chance?
I think they are, or June. Yeah, July. I think it's July. Because I think when Andy
Let's
Murray
talk
won his
sport,
first.
where we talk about birthdays.
Let's talk birthdays. Let's talk LTB.
Exactly.
And for some reason, in my hand, I have a hanger.
Oh no, Andy Murray. It's the 15th of May.
Oh, it is May. Oh, I kept thinking it was
Mhm.
July. Damn. Djokovic actually won the Aussie Open today, which was his 18th Grand Slam. The king of Australia, I'd say, because he's won 9 of them now.
Pure dominance. You can dislike the guy, but you can't deny he's a good tennis player.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I still think he'll beat Federer's record.
Yeah, he's still got time. He's what? He's not that old, is he?
No,
I'm
he's
guessing
only
31, 32.
33, so... But,
I 33, okay.
but like, he's fit enough to play for another 5 years, just like Federer's proven, so I don't see
Yeah,
why he
but
can't.
he looks even more capable physically
Yeah.
than I'd say Federer has looked in recent times. I mean, it's still amazing Federer's doing it, but I'd say that
Yeah,
Djokovic has looked. Djokovic is a powerhouse in tennis. I mean, just physically, he can go for that 5 or 6 hours in those French Opens, as he's proved.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Oh,
Federer...
and Berea's holding his hamstring. That's a big one.
Oh, there's a big moment there for Milan in the box when the ball was in the air, but they couldn't get the head as the goalkeeper
Oh
punched it
yeah,
out.
he stretches
Oh,
there, Berea.
yeah, that's a
There's no point
hamstring.
in doing that, is there? Right? Yeah, he stretches it.
He's got to come off straight away, surely. Yeah, he's gone
That's
off
not
straight
cool.
away.
I just come back to see Berea just hobbling about.
Andy,
Yeah,
you've
he's
missed
just
5
stretched for the ball,
goals.
Well, that's strange. It still says it's 3-0.
I know,
on
it's a
screen.
misprint.
Oh, right, okay, of course.
Yeah, Berea's just come off because of a hamstring.
Got it. Who's come on for him?
I don't think they made the substitution yet.
Oh, I thought they did. I just saw I saw a
I think
graphic, but I missed the...
Yeah, Young had already come on, hadn't he?
Oh, Vidal. Who
Oh, no,
everyone knows. I don't think Vidal is useful in this. I mean,
When is Vidal?
What, you mean he's
useful?
not that great of a footballer?
we did a preview of the Champions League once, and I said to Connor said Vidal's 1 yellow card away from getting suspended. I'm like, yeah, but he's stupid enough to get 2 yellow cards in the red. And what did he do? He got 2 yellow cards, but in the space of 1 minute.
Oh, the sending off early this year. Yes.
Yeah.
Nuts.
He's got no discipline for a guy who's 33.
Yeah.
And
It's a guy who's 33 and played for some of the biggest clubs in the world and won a whole load of medals. But no, I agree totally. He's not
won a Champions League though.
I suppose he's not, no, because Barcelona won it the last few
He's
years
got-
and he's there. And then
He's got to the final with Juventus, but he's not got further.
Maybe this is the year.
Yeah.
This
maybe.
is the
Maybe.
year.
God, I sound like a Liverpool fan then, although that was last year.
It's our year. Yeah.
He's
Well,
like he's like the Zlatan going to clubs that win the Champions League in those periods, but not.
Yeah. God loves
Well,
it.
I say that, but Juventus
speculative.
don't win Champions League recently. Do they?
I can't believe Zlatan has left clubs the year before they won the Champions League. Oh,
The Barcelona Inter one is perfect.
I know, it's
he
so
misses out on
annoying.
Barcelona one because he's at Inter, and then he misses out on the Inter one because he's at Barca.
Yeah, that picture of Pep and Zlatan on the sideline with Mourinho coming in saying something to them is just, it's just weird seeing Zlatan under Pep Guardiola. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I
it's
had an
not that
argument.
weird run where he had like, what, I think it was 9 seasons in a row that he won the league wherever he was, whether that was
Wow.
Ajax
That,
or
it stopped at Manchester United, didn't it?
It did, yeah. Because it was Ajax. Yeah,
Rub
let
it
me
in,
go
you
through.
dick.
It was Ajax to Inter Milan. Ajax to Juventus. and
Ajax,
then you got
Juventus, Inter, Barcelona,
yeah,
AC Milan,
then AC,
Paris,
yeah.
and then that's it.
and Man United kind of killed that for him. Nice one, Jamie. Well done.
Oh,
Well
sorry.
done, yeah. Oh, I mean, if he hadn't got to United and got to Los Angeles, then it would have killed it as well, you know.
Well, did he win? Did he win anything at Galaxy? Did he?
No, didn't even
No.
get to the playoffs.
Oh dear.
I'm trying to think, like, if he'd have gone, I don't know, if he'd have gone straight from Paris Saint-Germain to Galaxy, would Landon have still been playing? Landon Donovan. I'm just trying to work out if he'd have retired by then. Because I mean, Landon Donovan and Zlatan together. Oof.
Oh,
Does Handanovic make a save there again?
he does.
That's a
he
right
does.
save, that's
It's
a
a
great
great save. He's going to get that clean sheet.
Rebic.
Rebic.
Yeah.
Great
That's a brilliant
save.
save. I really mistimed my statement.
You,
of
you did,
Handanovic
yeah.
there.
At
I
half time
really
saying he's
got it
basically done. Yeah.
Easy shots. He's not that good.
Yeah.
Or Aris Sula Huden has got in touch saying Forza Inter. Of course, that is the Inter Milan hashtag on their Twitter profile as well. So they'll be saying that all night long. That's for sure.
That's what
Yep.
she said.
You know, don't talk
Michael
about
Scott over
flip-flops,
here.
Andy.
Yeah.
We got him, Steve Carell with a beard. Oh, great. Oh, great.
what is it like?
Seb, our mutual friend Dom, who is a West Ham fan, has just sent me a picture of the table saying, we're catching you up. No, you're not. Piss right off.
No, if United got beat by Newcastle today, yeah.
You know what, Andy? I wouldn't put it past them.
I really wouldn't.
It's
either.
been a
I think
weird
Newcastle-
season.
Hey, no. I want my prediction to be right because when we predicted the teams to be relegated, I said Sheffield United, West Brom, and Newcastle.
Yeah,
I want
same
Newcastle
here.
down now just to be right.
Same here. I said
Yeah,
Fulham would stay up.
I said Fulham would stay up as well.
Yeah, there's something about Fulham.
What's Lukaku done again? He's done it
I know,
again.
yeah, he's giving the ball
Oh my
out twice
God.
like that.
He's just not looking. For a top class footballer to just not look so often, that's poor.
That's the beauty of Romelu Lukaku. Is he clearly is a world class player, but he just there's parts for him that are non-league. It's like he's this weird coming together of traits and abilities.
Oh,
all
you-
lack thereof.
Get a Marine shirt with Lukaku 9 on the back.
Yeah, totally. Or Wrexham, we are non-league. sadly.
Marine,
That's
yes. Joe Stanley got a Marine shirt the other day. The one that
Yeah.
they wore for
Did
the
he?
FA Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he ordered one.
he
Yeah,
pre-ordered it.
Fair play.
It is a nice shirt, I must admit.
it's a good way to support the non-league teams.
Yeah.
It's right. He could have bought a Wrexham shirt. Just saying.
Do they need the money?
We did until a couple of weeks ago, but now we're dollar bills, bitch. Yeah,
the Deadpool box office is paying the bills.
yeah.
This is getting scrappy.
It's nuts.
It's getting
Absolutely
scrappy. Thing is, I'll say this now. I mean, there's 3 minutes of added time given, but I honestly think it's one of those.
Big speech about something important. I can't remember what it was.
Oh,
and then
dear.
just as the final word was coming out,
Just stopped.
that was it. Froze.
So what I
Does
was.
that mean that the stream's gone as well?
Well, I can. No. The stream's back. It's reconnected. So,
Oh,
which is good.
good.
There
Is
we-
Zlatan looking on and smiling?
Aris, are you there? If you are, do subscribe to Let's Talk Sport and let us know your thoughts on the game.
He's
But
saying he doesn't speak English though, so you got to say it in Indonesian, Jamie.
he said it. He's done well. He's
He said, I don't speak English. I'm from Indonesia.
yeah, but Seb, do you not think it's like the bit off Family Guy when Brian talks to that Mexican guy and then he speaks English for everything he needs the answers for, and then he goes, "Actually, I can't speak English." He goes, "Oh, but apart from those words."
I thought you were going to come out with the Bop the Bopey.
Oh, bada boopy, bada boopy, bada boopy, bada boopy, bada
I speak Italian.
Yeah, yep. What is he? I'm sure he's in the deli at that point. Is it? Maybe?
It's full time.
And it's full time, and in a world where connections is necessary, we certainly had a connection today
Wow.
from Inter Milan. They certainly looked the better team, and they had a stronger connection in the San Siro. The Wi-Fi connection certainly worked for them. For us, it didn't. It did until the last minute of the game, but it's ended AC Milan nil, Inter Milan 3.
You.
Yeah. It worked fine for me and Seb. Yeah, we
Well,
were fine. Don't throw us under the bus on that.
What I'm confused is that mine died while Seb's yesterday was literally on the edge of a cliff.
Oh, mine was worse than the edge of the cliff. It felt falling
I
off.
don't know. I need to change my subscription.
Like, do you mean, just to go back to one of the Jamie references, did Seb's fall off the Springfield Gorge? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are
Now
too
we're on
good.
track.
I love that. I love that episode. He even did it in the movie.
Look
Still
at
couldn't get over.
Ashley Young celebrating, going nuts. Like, oh, it's cut off now.
It's cut- yeah, mine's just
maybe
cut
it
off
came on
as
for like
well.
4 minutes.
Of course, everyone's has.
Because
Bet-
we're watching it through
betting
Bet
streams-
365.
Betting streams are so annoying. They literally, the moment the game's over, they don't care anymore. It's like, right, next game.
What you expect them to put on like post-match punditry, like
Yeah,
Wheeling,
yeah.
Craig Burley, and Steve.
Yeah, they should do fan interviews. How do you feel? Yeah, I won a tenner from that. I'm absolutely thrilled. Something like that.
What did your acca look like?
Yeah. How many expected goals did you put? Anyway, yeah, full time. So AC Milan 0, Inter Milan 3, 2 goals from Martinez, and then Lukaku scoring as well in the second half. Andy, I think for Inter, they've just shown why they are top and why they are the favourites.
Yeah, totally. Easily the favourites for the league right now. You'd look at it, obviously there's 14, 15, 16 games to go still in Serie A, maybe even more. My maths are correct. But yeah, the fact that Inter Milan now, it's early to say it, but it's right to say it, is that it's their league to lose.
Yeah.
They had that slow start to the season. They had that that period, almost like felt like a feeling out period where obviously Conte's been there. It's not like he's a new manager coming in, but it just felt like they took a little while to reach their stride, to get into their stride, but that stride's well and truly been gotten into in the last couple of weeks and months. Yeah, this really felt like a turning of a tide because AC Milan had been top for so long, and then for Inter to go top, there's me knocking my microphone over, for Inter to go top last week, and then to beat AC Milan today, it's hard to come back from this, I think, for Milan. And part of me, even though it's like maybe, I don't know, maybe a bit hyperbolic to say it, but like, you do worry for AC Milan now.
Yeah.
They're second in the league. You shouldn't worry for them. They're achieving way over what anybody thought they would do. But with the run of games coming up with Roma, with Juve around the corner, and the way that they got beat today, I mean, 3-0 is not it's not like they got beat 5, 6, 7-0, but just the fact that Inter Milan outplayed them, apart from maybe the first 10 minutes of the second half, Inter Milan dominated them. And there's a little bit of worry there for AC Milan as to how and when and if they can bounce back from this.
Yeah, I think.
I'd say the. Oh yeah, sorry, Jamie.
No, go on, Seb. You go.
It's not. It is worrying because recent games, particularly the Atalanta Spezia games, it's looking like Pioli's running out of ideas. Particularly in this game, that was abundantly clear. He was running out of ideas. They were probably unfortunate to lose 3-0. The game wasn't a 3-0 one. I mean, Handanovic made a lot of saves. AC Milan probably had the better of the second halves, but just fell asleep at certain occasions. Now they're 4 points behind, and you don't want them to start getting dragged back down to, say, 5th place, because Atalanta, who are a game behind, are 7th with 9 points behind. They win the game in hand. It's only 6 points between 7th and 2nd. That can be quite tense. AC Milan, if they're not careful, and lose to Roma, say, for instance, Napoli in the coming weeks, they could drop down to 4th and just be on the edge of Champions League football. So if they finish 5th this season, it's not a disaster, but given the context of where they were at the beginning, it would be disastrous. Their squad is too thin. They need new players in there who are actually good enough to step in when, say, for instance, Benasser is absent or Calhanoglu is absent. They're still overachieving in second, but it's a bit worrying now for AC Milan. You think this bad form could continue?
Yeah, I think today, if AC Milan would have won today, that would have been a proper statement victory of like, okay, yeah, we've lost our top spot, but we've bounced back by beating our nearest rivals in the league and our local rivals. That would have been a massive statement, and it didn't happen like that. And the other way around is it's a big statement for Inter Milan to have climbed back up the table, to get to the top spot last week, and then to go and beat their rivals. That's huge for Inter. I think what Seb says there, you can't. I think you can't hammer it home enough. Is in this Milan squad it's paper thin. They've done so well to be where they are. They've done it for them to be top for so long is absolutely nuts. I think that's probably the greatest story in world football for the last for this season. But there's so many cracks that have been papered over, I think, for Milan. And when you look at the squad they've got and the injuries that might come around and the reliance on Zlatan, and it's I don't want to be all doom and gloom because I really want Milan to do well, but you could easily see them dropping down to 5th or 6th, which at the beginning of the season they probably would have taken. They probably, even though it wasn't Champions League, they probably would have taken 5th place at the beginning of the season. Just when you look at recent seasons, but for them, again, the key word from Seb there was context. For them to have been top for so long and then to maybe finish out the top 4 or maybe come 4th, you'd be massively disappointed.
Yeah, absolutely, and of course Milan in that game just didn't look like a team that were going to score. And that was what I was supposed to say until the connection disconnected for me, which was...
That's what you kept us waiting for, was that? Score was the word. That score was the word.
It was literally, if they were given another 90 minutes, they still wouldn't score. And it just felt like that. It was one of those days where, despite all the possession they had in that second half, and they obviously changed a little bit from their first half, but it just didn't really change at all in terms of efforts and goals. Zlatan had some great saves against him from those headers, and of course,
really good saves.
Very good saves.
Handanovic just passed it.
Yeah, he's done, mate. He's on a scrappy. That's it. He's off to Serie B next season.
Exactly.
I think they really missed Benacer in the middle of the park with Milan, because you look at that today and the chances they made, it was from balls into the box from out wide, and they really missed that creative spark in the middle of the park. I think AC Milan. That's why you miss someone like a Benacer, because then you're relying on Calhanoglu to do something, and he didn't have an awful game today. But
he drops too deep sometimes when there are players missing like that, and he doesn't really. The main thing that's got Milan so far is his connection with Zlatan up front, and Zlatan also dropping a bit deeper. You know, the shots that he had, he wasn't really that close to goal, except for the ones at the beginning of the second half. So, yeah, with those players missing, they just dropped a bit, despite AC Milan actually playing quite hard in the pitch. And you don't get clear-cut chances when you got, say, for instance, Zlatan roaming around the edge of the box. This is actually quite typical of AC Milan this season. They do have matches where they struggle to score, but they've been very solid defensively. They've been able to hold that line quite well and defend for their lives. Now they're kind of leaking in goals. You see the ones against Spezia, you see the ones against Atalanta, you see the ones here today. Against the run of play, they conceded a goal, and that's not what AC Milan were doing at the beginning of the season, which is worrying, but I still wouldn't read too much into it. I think you can tell with a game like this, the real winners, that Inter Milan are in their own heads winners. AC Milan in their heads are overperformers this season. So I think that's shown on the pitch just in their mentalities.
Well said. Absolutely.
That's a really good point. And as well with the defense as well, it was the fact that Milan they had their first 11, their first starting choice back for today as well. So there's no excuses in that way. They weren't good enough. Calabria came back in after suspension for the Spezia game. And so you're thinking that, okay, we're going to get this back going again. You got Kjaer, you got Romagnoli, you've got Hernandez on the left with Donnarumma. So there's no excuses in that regard. They weren't missing anybody at the back. Just Inter Milan were too good for them. Or maybe Milan didn't perform. Either way, Inter deserved this totally.
Absolutely. And there's actually a tweet I like to see here. This is from a Inter Milan fan that I've just seen. He's a reporter for Eurosport. He's put, it's time we dust off Adriano's nickname and crown him. Romulo the Emperor Lukaku.
No, you are taking dick all away from Adriano. Anything he had for that brief candlelit career, it stays with him.
And that PES 6 career mode.
Yeah, okay. If you want to go with PES as well, yeah, probably the best player of all time on Pro Evolution Soccer. But for also bizarrely for like that weird. Well, it's weird now. It wasn't weird at the time, but for that, in hindsight, that weird like 2 or 3 year period where he genuinely was going to be the best player in the world, and then just obviously circumstances. I think it was his father died, and that really knocked him, and then just never. Yeah, it was back. But man, what are 2 or 3 years though? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame, yeah, because it was funny that I only read that last year. I think it was Tim Vickery, the Brazilian writer.
Oh yeah, on BBC.
He's
he
great,
did a really good article about it.
Yeah, he did an article and he literally said that's because his dad died. His meaning of playing football was pretty much out to dry. It's such a shame what happened to Adriano. But of course, I do follow him on Instagram, and he's clearly having fun. He's a bit overweight now, but he doesn't care.
Has he gone the Ronaldo route where he just loves partying?
Yeah,
more power to him. More power to him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's got the money; he can do it. Why not? And absolutely fantastic. Okay, lads. Before we wrap up, I'm going to ask for your man of the matches. Seb, over to you to start off.
I think just purely, I do want to say either Lukaku or Martinez. They're both immense up front, but just because Lukaku gave away some cheap balls, I'm not going to give it to him. so maybe Handanovic, 10 saves in a match is still a lot. I'm gonna go for it, Handanovic. I'm gonna go for it.
Look at Seb backtracking from writing him off at half time. No, he's man in the match. Honestly, he's my friend. He's man in the match.
I'm gonna get the highlights video to get you absolutely done and dusted, Seb True.
This is me admitting
Seb false more like.
So Handanovic, man of the match. Proving me wrong. Just given that context, I'm giving him man of the match.
Seb, you missed the worst pun ever from Jamie.
Oh no, he hears this all the time.
What was the pun, Jamie? Come on.
Seb false.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Horrendous.
He always calls me that.
Oh, I do apologise.
I think my man of the match. It's hard not to give it to Lautaro because he got 2 goals, but even though his touch was horrendous at times, I think I probably will give it to Lukaku just because I was really impressed with that assist in the first half, the first goal, just the way he got that ball out from his feet and then just the vision for that cross. I think I'd probably go with Lukaku, and also just how I don't know how I'm trying to think of a phrase to sum it up. How shit kicking that third goal was, as in just I'm getting the ball on the halfway line. I don't give a toss who's in front of me. You're all being at my way. I'm going to go and score. So I think even though he only got the 1 goal, I think I'm probably going to get. And he had some horrendous touches. I think I'm going to go with Rom.
I've got a stat here. So he completed 12 passes out of 24 attempted, which is 50%. He lost the ball 20 times, and he had a total of 43 touches.
Oh my god.
Ooh, but he got an assist and he got a really good goal that was all his own
That's
work.
true. No, I know.
So it's like
I agree to it. To some extent.
That's the I don't know, the enigma that is Romelu Lukaku. Is you have the stats say he's horrendous. You watch him and sometimes he is horrendous, but so many other parts of his game are world class.
Oh
and
yeah,
any team in
absolutely.
the world will probably take him. It's like it's weird. I can't wait to see him in the City shirt next season, Jamie.
Oh no!
It's not happening. It's not happening. I don't think it's happening.
No, I mean, I can understand why he'd be on their radar because he is for most teams, I'm sure. But I think the one striker they've got a better chance of getting, I think, is Erling Haaland.
Which you'd also love to have.
I know. Oh, why is it United have burnt so many bridges? You know, Roy Keane started it off by killing his dad. So, you know, it doesn't help, does it?
That's the weird thing with that, though. Is like you see Alf-Inge Haaland speak in interviews, and he seems quite open to him going to his son, to Erling going to Man United. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like to me, it's like I thought again. I would have thought, like you said then, about that's naturally killing a bridge because you literally ended his dad's career. Yeah, he hobbled on and played a few more games through the divisions, but yeah,
I think it'd be different if Roy Keane were the manager. If he's like if there's all him at Ipswich at the when Roy Keane was manager, Haaland, go there. You'll learn some good English football. No. Roy Keane's manager. No.
It's not. Every time I watch him, though, I mean, it's nothing to do with Inter Milan and AC Milan. But every time I watch Erling Braut Haaland, I'm amazed how many so many different attributes he has. Because you have your pigeonholes, your stereotypes of certain types of players that have certain attributes that work for that, and like he has everything. It's insane for someone that 6'5". Yeah, 6'5".
And he was the fastest. He was the fastest player on the pitch yesterday, except for Kolasinac. So he's quick.
Wow. And that's it. And then he's 6'5" and probably 17 stone, 16 stone,
and can dribble madly in tight spaces. It's unreal.
You look at him and it's like the things that he does. He traditionally, that sort of player shouldn't be doing those things. He shouldn't have that speed. He shouldn't have that close control. He shouldn't have that skill. But he does, and he has the finish end, and he has the power that goes.
And he has the work ethic.
Yeah, the dude is an enigma. And Jamie Davies, if you don't get him, oh my god.
I know. It's a must. But I mean, you haven't heard enough from me. You should hear from my brother. All he ever does is go on about Haaland. He sent me a text saying, "Did you see that goal?" Yes, of course I did. And my brother's like, "Yeah, I'm watching German football now. Yeah, because of Haaland."
yeah.
But yeah, Haaland's a must for
I'm watching it because
a lot
of
of
Andre
teams.
Silva.
Oh, nice.
See,
I'm watching it to watch the steady decline of Mats Hummels. Sadly, it wasn't intended to be that because I like Hummels, but that's what it's turned out to be.
I'm seeing it just to hear much of Gladbach's goal song. Dub 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 dub. Anyway,
but again, how it wouldn't surprise me if somehow Juventus pulled this league out of their arse and won it, because Juventus. It wouldn't surprise me if somehow, somewhere
they've got the right character in midfield. That's for sure.
They have, but yeah, it wouldn't surprise me in some way, somehow, just because of how football is traditionally now. If Haaland, when he does leave, ends up going to fucking Bayern Munich, just because it is.
I don't think you will. I don't think you will.
I really hope not. I hope not.
I hope not.
No one thought Lewandowski would, but
after that, you never know.
You said about Juventus winning the league, and it's possible, but there's one key element to Juventus winning the league. If Arthur is injured for much longer, Juventus won't win the league. If he comes back soon, which I'm not sure about what the injury is, then I think Juventus might have a shout. It's weird to say that the whole league might depend on Arthur's physicality.
Whoa. What about Aaron Ramsey?
No. He's a left-sided midfielder that drags in. Arthur really controls midfield, and especially next to a Bentancur who can make so many errors. He really, Rabiot's not the same as Arthur. He doesn't work hard enough. So
Rabiot's totally different, and he's a bit
Rabiot's a weird one. I find him a really weird football player, just generally. I don't get him. I just don't get him.
No, same here. Especially with all the hype. But you look at the hype that he had around him. Most of it was from himself. And
his mum.
Yeah, exactly. Even his mum. It's like, you've got to invest in yourself. Fair play to him. But when you see him play even when he's playing for PSG, and it's like, well, he's not really tearing up the game here, but he still managed to somehow get his move to Juventus.
He's good in about 10 minutes patches and then just disappears. But he's another example who can just glide with the ball easily. And you don't know how. He's not quick, but he can glide with it and keep it. And it's basically, Rabiot's going to be a free agent. Top deal, that. How much do you want to get paid? Oof.
Yeah. even now, it's like he still gets linked with United, with City, with Tottenham, with whoever, because it's like he's a free. He might be leaving. He might be leaving Juve. Might be able to get him cheaper on the free. It's like, yeah, go for it. And again, it's like, I don't think he's done anything that warrants it really. If you look at his, literally look at his throughout his career, and the general 90-minute performances, no chance. But he'll get himself a massive move if and when he does leave. I'm just watching Kevin De Bruyne's on my screen here in the background. I guess he's back for City today.
Of course, yeah. Arsenal Man City's on at 4:30. Yeah.
Oh, there he is. There he is in the
He came on. He came on against Everton. Yeah.
So he is available. Anyway, before we wrap up, lads, just a quick summary. So Martinez with 2 goals. Lukaku in the 66th minute as well with his left foot, and he said this is mine or something like that when he scored, when he celebrated. He was saying to the camera, "This is mine," according to what I'm reading on Twitter.
I don't think anyone doubted it was his goal. Yeah, I don't think they doubted it was his goal.
It took a deflection. It's an own goal. No. Possession has changed, lads, from the first half. It's no longer Brexit. It's pretty much a majority of AC Milan, 61% to 39.
We love our majorities.
We do love our majorities. What can I say? Shots on target, 10 to 8. Of course, Inter Milan getting 3 of them on target was the goals. And then looking at the corners, it was 7-all. Completed passes, 504 for AC Milan, 307 for Inter. And that's really the most important stats. But the heat maps, they've even got heat maps on the Serie A website, which it's like trying to guess what the shape looks like. But with these shapes, I haven't got a clue.
Is it phallic? Is it phallic, Jamie?
It's one of them looks like a penis.
That will be phallic. That will be phallic. Yeah.
The Inter Milan, even though they played very well, looked like a penis with their play today. So let us know in the comments.
We've all been there.
We've all been there.
I'm a big fan of average formation because it just makes no sense.
Oh yeah. I mentioned this, didn't I, the other week?
Average formation is just this big blob in the middle.
It's so random. Of course, there's other shots on target. Zlatan got the most with 5. Martinez with 2 goals got 4 on target. So all sorts of stats here. The Lukaku got 2, and so forth, so on. But anyway,
we thought to get a goal, we'll take Zlatan off.
Genius.
Clever move, very clever move, of course. But anyway, I think that's pretty much it with our live watch along. Thanks very much to Seb and Andrew. Andrew, I hope you enjoyed your first watch along.
Oh, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I mean, it's what I do normally is sit at home on a Sunday and watch the football with a beer, but with other people. It's great.
Other people,
especially
great,
with Seb. Maybe not so much for you, Jamie.
Oh, I better go then.
Although I do have to ask, where's Aubrey gone?
She's gone.
She's left you.
Oh.
She's walked out. That's it. She's took the kids. And she's gone.
My door was shut as well. How did she get
out?
Out
the window. That's how desperate she is. She's got out the window. She's took the kids.
The window.
She's got the TV.
The window is open.
Wow. Okay.
She's probably
Scary.
dead. Oh well.
Jesus, that's dumb.
Wow.
I'm only joking. The window's shut.
At the end there.
It's winter time. I don't need the window open. But anyway, my thanks to Andrew and Seb, and my thanks to you lot at home for watching our live watch along. Do subscribe, do like the video, and all that. So thank you very much.